It's, what? Fucking almost the end of July. It's July 21st. Where is time? Time is just a mystery, illusion. I'm your host, the man of 1,004 names, Tyrell Armbar. I can't think of anything. It's been a long couple days. I had so much energy before I hit like the go button on this. Find me on Twitter at 1,004 names. You guys can continue on.
I'm Faith, and you can find me on Twitter at Carly Pelkers.
And I'm Killer Greg. You find me at Killer Greg17 on Twitter.
Another week down. Another.
We did it.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay.
Work, everyone.
I worked so hard for it too. Oh yeah.
Good job.
You gotta want it. You gotta want it.
I want it.
Yeah.
Oh, I also want to not die.
Right. That's
So.
mostly it.
That's where
You're
my.
so selfish.
Yeah, I know.
My only motivators right now are not die and not be hassled. That's it. That's all that's propelling me through life.
Right now.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. Joke.
I was an only child, so like being alone to me is very appealing.
Sure.
But I think it definitely has affected me over the years because I'm very comfortable being alone. I'm very comfortable finding ways to entertain myself. But at the same time, like through especially college and stuff, I was like compulsively looking for like people to be with, people to hang out with, stuff like that. I feel like I've come back full circle, and now it's just like, please don't invite me to a party. Please.
I grew up with a brother, so I am very much inclined to always want to be alone.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like, Kat, my girlfriend, she had 4 siblings, so like, she just always wants to be alone. Cause,
right.
Because you know, like growing up, she never had a room to herself or time to just be alone or quiet or anything.
Right.
So, makes sense to me.
Bulletproof Pretty Boy in the chat. Hey, how's it going? Fuck Rob Manfred.
Hey.
Etc.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
Right on.
But yeah, like I'm just getting so tired. So tired. Like like Greg and I did a lot of moving stuff to his home yesterday from his dad's place.
Sure.
I drove down and saw Faith a couple weeks ago. Brought her some chili. That was good.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I just miss seeing my friends. You know. Like,
right.
hanging out, barbecuing, getting people together, watching a movie. Oh, the most normal thing I did the last 6 months. The wife and I actually went out to dinner last weekend for our anniversary, and it was good. Place was very safe. Everything was apart. You know, wiped down. We wore our masks, but it was just nice to have that little shot of normalcy in there.
Right.
That wasn't just here, you know, grocery store, work.
Right.
Computer chair, stream.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird how oppressive even fun things can be when it's like all you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Real bummer. Oh. But aside from that, it's you know, how's everybody else doing this week? I see it all in your eyes. You've all I think we're all pretty much at the same point for the most part.
Yeah.
Just anything different can happen. Or this apocalypse could get fun, you know? Like give me a meteor or an alien or like something that's
we need a real deep impact sitch.
Well, fucking the Jerry Butts movie Greenland was supposed to come out, which is basically just his remake of Deep Impact, which is like, oi, we're gonna get Greenland, aye? Because that's where the 2012 and all the rich people.
Okay.
It looks awesome. I am very
So
excited.
that was supposed to come out and it didn't. because of the pandemic.
Who knows what they're
Okay.
doing now? I mean, Black Widow's supposed to come out. You know, that was what I wanted one of our focuses to be today, was the death of cinema as we know it. So, I mean, I'm fine never really going to a theater again.
No way, man. I love movie theaters. I love them. Like, it's really, truly the only, like, normie thing I miss from all this. Like, I miss having friends over, and I miss, like, seeing people. But, like, movies are the only things that I'm just, like, upset that I can't do right now.
Sure.
I miss our Bad Movie Friday movies.
Yeah.
Like, going to a theater, us being the only two people there because we're watching whatever garbage Hollywood just cranks out constantly.
Right.
And we could, like, laugh and maybe, you know, sneak a little drink in there, a little drinky poo in there, and enjoy our popcorn. And, you know, that's always a good time. But, like, the idea of, like, going to see a big blockbuster movie like, you know, seeing Star Wars and, like, having to get your tickets 3 weeks early and getting crammed in there, and everybody's like, yeah, clapping, oh, yeah, it's the Millennium Falcon. Everybody shut up, I'm trying to watch a fucking movie.
But Ty, I mean, when was the last time you saw the Falcon? You know?
The day before, the day before when I binged all the movies again.
Oh. Yeah, but, like, when before that?
The week
like,
before.
you can't just see it any time, man.
Right.
Could you imagine? Like, you're just like chilling, and you're like, oh my god, I need to see the Millennium Falcon right now. And then you just Google the Falcon, and a picture pops up, and you're like, yeah!
I mean,
I'd love to be that easily sated.
Look at that! I love that thing!
ah, shit! There it is!
Oh my
Just
god!
skipping around.
I love Falcon. Solo's the best movie. Remember?
Yeah.
Remember when he plays Kazakh with Lando, and he's all like, "Oh, we're gonna play for the Falcon." He's like, "Oh no, I guess I'm definitely not cheating." And Lando totally cheats.
I know that thing.
Remember? Oh man,
That was a thing that happened.
this is just as good as when Thor got the hammer and he didn't go for the head, and the Thanos was all like, "You should go for the head next time," and he goes, "Ah!" and then everyone dies. But then they come back. Don't worry, it's okay, everybody. God, God, doing that bit hurt my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess maybe that's my big deal. I'm not excited for anything anymore. It is a cheap pop, yeah. That's all it is. But
Yeah, I mean, I get excited. Don't get me wrong. There are certain things, especially Star Wars, that still excites me. But the simple concept of like a lightsaber or the Millennium Falcon or something like that doesn't affect me. Like, I don't see R2-D2 and I'm like, yes, this brings me joy.
Right.
But there are certainly themes in Star Wars, which is why I like The Force Awakens so much, because like when Rey pulls the lightsaber like through the forest, like I get emotional during that, but not because it's a lightsaber. I get emotional because like it reminds me of the emotion I felt when Luke pulled the lightsaber for the first time. The music more than anything like affects me. So like I'm not going to say I'm immune to those types of things, but it is the collaboration of those things. It's like the themes of Rey like getting courage and the music and the visuals, like it's all part of it. The simple act of a lightsaber, like when, you know, we talked about when Darth Maul shows up at the end of Solo and it was just like, hey, it's me, Darth Maul. Also, I brought my lightsaber. Who loves this shit?
remember, it goes both ways.
Some
Right.
people are just a little more easily amused.
And I mean, the Maul thing in Solo is exceptionally egregious to me because, like, every now and then you literally see the board meeting on the screen. Hey, Ron, great movie. Totally love it. Quick question. How will they know it's a Star Wars movie? There are no lightsabers.
How do we know that it's not a different
Right.
Maul? That it could be
Right.
could be like Barth Maul or
His
Darth
brother.
or Darth Grawl. Okay, he
Right.
needs to
People don't love them.
he needs to pull out that fucking lightsaber.
Right. We need to distinguish this as a Star Wars movie and that is the Darth Maul that everyone loves.
The first time I saw a Starkiller base on opening night, I yelled, "It's a planet with a gun in it!" And the groan was exceptional. That's why I was okay with The Force Awakens for the most part. I was like, okay, they're just doing New Hope again. I get that.
And New Hope is my favorite Star Wars movie.
It's
so like,
yeah.
I kind of don't give a fuck that they basically just remade it beat for beat, because I fucking love it.
Right.
But I was like, all right, let's just go new direction now, and they went in a new direction, all right.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, I know we're not. I don't want to debate this,
No,
but
let's not.
that's also why I like The Last Jedi so much, because it's the exact opposite of The Force Awakens. It was like, all that shit you love, I'm not feeling that. Let's do something else. You're not gonna like any of this. And coincidentally, I did like it because I appreciated they were trying something new.
Right.
You know, like my gut reaction to The Force Awakens was not a strongly positive reaction. Like I saw it and I left. I was like, I don't know about this. I saw it again that night and I was like, all right, it's a little bit better. Now it's probably my third favorite Star Wars movie.
I just want to backtrack you on that one a little bit, Greg. You left The Force Awakens. You were like, I don't know about that one. You immediately went right back into the theater to see it again.
Yeah. Look, second time's a charm, man.
I just want to. All right.
When in doubt, do it again. Well, this is something I struggle with a lot. As like, I mean, I'm not going to say that we're film critics, but we critique films in a way that I think is not just like, you know, CinemaSins type critique. Like, I feel like there's two critiques. There's like a legitimate, like, what is the mechanism of the production of this movie and did it work or not, and what could have been done differently to make it work. And then there's the, oh, well, in this scene in Moana, the sail sticks through the boat a little bit, so bad CGI, nitpick number 2.
Right.
So, go ahead.
Oh, well, I think there's a. I don't think there's just both ends of the spectrum. I think there's a vast sea of criticism to be had for everything. And when you have a movie that just spits in the face of, like, its established canon and stuff like that, I think that's not just nitpicks. I mean, and a lot of nitpicks will add up to an actual point of something being bad or good. You know? Like
I don't agree with that.
You don't think?
I don't think I agree with that.
So you think if like Star Wars, if The Empire Strikes Back, every 3 seconds it just contradicted itself, and you saw boom mics in every shot, that would not ruin the enjoyment of that movie for yourself? I mean, like, you've never seen a movie.
Yeah, but that's a bad movie. Like, if there's a illogical through line in the movie and it was like the production was poor, like, that's a bad movie. That's not a nitpick. That's critique.
I guess maybe we just don't fully understand what each other's ideas of nitpicks are. But I will say I think we don't both agree that CinemaSins is terrible.
Yeah. So I guess to the point I was actually making is that I consider us not very good, but still film critics to an extent. And what I debate with sometimes is, just because I didn't like an ending or I didn't like a choice, does that mean it's good or bad? The best example I have is the movie Ex Machina, which is a movie I have come to truly love. But the first time I saw it and that ending happened, and it like really depressed me that
Hold on.
Gleason.
If you can not spoil it, I'd be really appreciative of that. I know it's been out for a few years.
Ty, it's a decade old.
Yeah, I know, but still, I'm asking you just to give it to me on this one.
Holy fuck.
I've somehow avoided the spoilers for it, and I would like to keep that going. Because I want to be surprised if I ever sit down and watch it.
No. You don't know. Then turn off your mic for a second. I'm spoiling this shit. It's a decade old.
Okay, please continue.
So it wasn't like to me, the main character getting stuck and probably murdered at the end, like, it was depressing to me because I liked his character, and that's not really where I saw the movie going. And, so my initial reaction when I left the theater at that point was, I don't think that was a very good movie.
Okay.
But the truth of the matter was, it was a great movie, and thematically, that ending does make sense within the themes of what the movie is trying to say with the story that's being told.
Sure.
So, like, wrestling with my expectations and what the movie provides and how they don't always correlate, it's hard for me to distinguish the two sometimes.
Right.
So, going back to The Last Jedi, after coming out of The Force Awakens, which was a literal remake of A New Hope, my favorite one, to go into The Last Jedi, and I just wanted more A New Hope. I was just like, just give me that thing again. Just make Empire again. You did it great the first time. So when that movie came out and it wasn't what I expected, my reaction is, this is bad. Was it bad? I don't think so. I think it actually made a lot of sense moving forward. Like Rian Johnson was trying to say, this is the 8th movie, not counting Rogue One and all this other shit, and the TV shows and the books. Like, this is basically the 1000th Star Wars story being told. Like, maybe to keep it fresh, we need to go in a different direction, and I appreciated that.
Sure.
But it took me time to appreciate, and, that's like my real point, is that just because it doesn't meet my immediate expectations, does that mean it's good or bad?
Right.
And it's hard for me to distinguish that in the moment.
It can be difficult when you're
trying to be fair.
you're emotionally invested in a product or a story or characters. It can be tough to objectively look and see what makes the best story and what is the best direction for a narrative to go. So
I'm also always curious about the idea of, like, ownership of a property.
Sure.
Like, excuse me. Like, what do filmmakers owe their viewers?
Sure.
I mean, my inclination is nothing.
Right.
But I'm also a cynical asshole. Like, there's not much that means so much to me that a directorial decision would ruin that thing. Star Wars possibly being the one exception. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles maybe being another. But at the same time, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at this point has had so many wildly different iterations that, in my opinion, my Turtles basically doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
There's been 5, 6 Turtles programs, like serious Turtles programs. Like, there's one going on right now. It's supposed to be awesome, and it's already in like its 3rd or 4th season. Like, I literally don't even recognize the characters from it.
Right.
So like, I don't think a creator owes its, like, viewership anything, personally.
I agree with that.
I
definitely agree with that.
I don't fully agree. I think they. I think. I was not ready to make this discussion.
We can come back to this. I mean, I'm just stating how I felt about those moments.
And I agree. I think it's good to, like, shake things up. I think it's good to, as long as you're. And I don't want to say anything that's going to, like, go us off onto, like, another complete tangent. I think Star Wars dropped the ball.
Tangents are fine.
I think Star Wars dropped the ball, especially not just with, like, what they did to the characters, with just the fact that they lacked any direction to begin with.
That's definitely the biggest failing of this, like, new Star Wars trilogy, is the extreme tonal dissonance between all 3 movies.
Right. It doesn't feel like a trilogy.
Remember, first one, remember this? Remember all the stuff you loved? Ah, here it is. It's back. It's great. Second one, remember all the stuff you loved? It's all dead. Fuck it. It's all dead. Third one, remember all the stuff you loved? It's double back.
Right. Like, The Force Awakens was definitely an element of pandering to it.
Yeah.
Sure.
And like, it worked for me in that, but it was still seemed like it was telling its own story. Like, obviously there's some parallels between Rey and Luke, like, on a desert planet. The name of the desert planet's different or whatever. But, like, other than that, there's not too much, like, direct correlation.
Well, and I was definitely satisfied with the level of character development of the
Me
new
too.
characters.
Like, I felt like Finn was a new character. I felt like Poe was a
Yeah.
new character. Like, I know Poe was kind of supposed to be like a Han Solo stand-in, but like, other than them being like slightly like sly, like sarcastic a little bit, and kind of like a charismatic whippersnapper, like that's literally where Poe and Han Solo end, because like Poe is never looking out for himself, like.
Right.
Whereas Han Solo was. So yes, they are both like debonair, roguish types, but they're not the same character.
Sure.
But then by the time the Rise of Skywalker came back around, I felt like any veil of originality was completely gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is the egregious thing. Like, I don't mind a little bit of pandering, but when it's nothing but pandering, that's where, like, I mean, the best comparison to me is the Venture Brothers and Family Guy.
Okay.
Because the Venture Brothers also panders to an extent to their audience, like making all these extremely, like making David Bowie references and Sarah Michelle Gellar references and stuff like that. Like, they know the people who are watching their show, and they know that those people will get these references.
Sure.
But the show isn't about references.
Right.
And that's where, and that's the contrast to Family Guy. Family Guy also makes Sarah Michelle Gellar references. But the extreme of it is there's no veil of originality to it. It's just like, here is a thing, laugh please.
Right.
Remember the time we saw Rise of Skywalker with Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Classic.
Well, and I don't think there's anything wrong with just knowing your audience and knowing that they're going to like a Sarah Michelle Gellar joke just because that's the age of your audience and that's their wheelhouse.
Miss Sarah Michelle Gellar. I mean, shit, half the stuff we do is just either self-referential comedy, or just dropping Simpsons quotes to each other. It's like, fuck.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is to these situations. MC Chris had that very famous comment. It's like saying something you've heard before. That's comedy.
Yeah, and that's and we reference that all the time.
Right. We reference that joke all the time.
It's a reference about how references are comedy.
So,
yeah.
I don't know where the line is, but I think there is a line, and I think,
Sure.
And if you need two examples in the same universe, I think The Force Awakens and I think The Rise of Skywalker are a perfect example of those things. Like, one is more homage, and one is straight ripping off. Also, fuck that movie. That movie sucked.
God, it's so bad.
Like, again, the Rise, not The Rise of Skywalker, the Last Jedi I saw 2 times that night. I saw it probably 5 times in the theaters.
Wow.
I've seen The Rise of Skywalker once, and I fucking love Star Wars. I love it.
Right.
Like, it gets a rise out of me every time I think about it. And I just couldn't even bring myself to see the movie a second time. Even twice, I couldn't do it. That's very telling.
You never know, Greg. The second time might be the charm. Maybe you'll love it after the second time.
I did just buy it. It's right here. And right above that, cats.
Yeah.
Double feature right there. God damn.
I guess bringing it back to, like, being excited about stuff. Like, that's all I get excited about for anymore, as far as movies goes. Like I remember I was, like, groaning in the theater watching the trailers to Rise of Skywalker. But at the same time, I was super hyped to sit through whatever tripe we were about to sit through. It was like, oh man, The Rise of Skywalker, this big budget movie that Disney has pumped $1 billion into, that's gonna be fucking terrible. But now let's gear for the rhythm section. Come on, bud.
I'll tell you what. I think the rhythm section might be quite literally the most forgettable movie I've ever seen.
It's up there.
I legitimately forgot that we saw it multiple times. Like, I was seeing on a list, I was like, what the fuck is this movie?
Right.
It's
Well,
like,
it's a
oh,
dumb
right.
title too.
I saw that. And then all I remember is something, I think she was on heroin, and the guy who played Christopher Darden from OJ was in it. I remember fucking nothing else about that movie.
I would love that to have been the exit interview. Remember they used to do those for like premieres, and then they put him in the commercial.
Yeah.
If Greg just wandered out, the guy who was Christopher Darden from OJ was in it. Go see it.
A+.
Sir, you just saw the rhythm section. What'd you think? I did?
What?
Huh?
Where am
Are
I?
you sure?
That was... I thought it was like an hour and 45 minutes of white noise.
So I'm gonna remember it.
Oh.
That movie was just nothing. It was just a whole nothing of a movie. It made Red Sparrow look good.
God.
Wow, that's rough.
Oh, Tara wants to see that, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah. What?
Red Sparrow.
We saw that.
I know, but she wants to see, and I was like, I really don't want to see it. We saw that. She didn't see that.
Here's what I do like about Red Sparrow, though. Legitimately. I think it is really interesting the way nudity is portrayed in that movie with Jennifer Lawrence. Especially since it came out literally right after the fappening. Because it is so soulless. Because, like, from my recollection, when all those leaks came out, like, Jennifer Lawrence naked was, like, the big one. Like, that was what everybody wanted.
Yeah, that was up there.
And then she came out with Red Sparrow, which is the first movie she was ever naked in. And she's literally just like, take off my clothes? All right. Here it is. This is what you wanted? Are we impressed? All right, moving on.
Interesting.
I wasn't impressed the first time.
I think it was I think it was an actual commentary on the whole thing. I might be reading into it too much, but even if it is not intentional, I think it works as commentary on that. Because it is like it goes out of its way to desexualize her body in that movie.
Huh.
No, I
Fascinating.
fully agree, Greg. It was definitely like commentary.
Okay, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I have a habit of reading into things, like a lot of things, way too much. So I'm glad you agree with me. So, like, even though that's a shitty movie, I found that to be incredibly interesting.
Huh.
Yeah.
And that's my review of Red Sparrow.
So check out the trailer for Greenland. It looks dope.
Oh, UPS. Oh, they
Neat.
stopping? You better stop, you asshole. I don't think he stopped.
Well, if he doesn't have your package, you don't want him stopping.
No, fuck it. Just give me a randos package. What do I care? I'll get a box of dildos. Who gives a shit?
It's never a box of dildos, Greg.
You don't know that.
Box of dildos, yeah. All right, get your box of dildos, yeah.
I like old-timey dildo collar.
That's how they had to sell them back then.
Yeah, it's a living, man.
You got your dills and your does.
Bonafide, one-time, all-around dildo salesman.
Just a briefcase full of dildos going door to door.
Excuse me, is the little lady of the house home?
This one vacuums more than one thing.
Whoops, I seem to have spilled this red wine all over your dress. Oh, man.
It's a living.
I guess technically dildos don't vibrate, right? Like, that's a whole separate subsection.
They can vibrate.
Okay, all right. Then what's the difference
Yeah.
between a dildo and a vibrator?
I believe the shape.
Well, a vibrator can be virtually any shape, but a dildo is almost
Distinctly
certainly
a wang.
stick-shaped. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, shows how much I know about the current dildo sitch.
The more you know.
I mean, dildo technology is just out of control these days. So.
Evolving.
Go on.
Now
Yeah.
it'll hug you afterwards.
Yeah, it'll make you breakfast. It's all right.
Hot
Tell me
dog.
I'm pretty, dildo.
Bulletproof Pretty Boy in chat. Hot dogs, dildos, ice cream, ice cold beer here.
Now we're talking.
Take me out of the ball game.
I think that would get a lot more people into a ballpark.
No joke.
We're here at Baltimore Orioles Stadium where we're doing free dildo night.
But you literally could not do that in Philly.
Yeah.
Those dildos would wind up
Just
throwing a lot of Santa Clauses.
just raining down on center field.
Man, I want to see that.
Batteries. I know it was battery. I want that situation. I know Philadelphia threw batteries. It was like battery night at something, but I think it was an Eagles game.
They handed out batteries and
In Philly, a town notorious for throwing things at people.
right. That's like the key thing to throw. It's small. It's heavy.
I know there was
Actually
the Simpsons.
The Bills. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ty.
There's a Simpsons bit where it's like, what a terrible thing to happen here at free battery night.
For a couple years in a row, Bills fans were throwing dildos at Tom Brady.
Huh.
So that
Dildos
that
are
definitely
cheap,
happens.
So that's, I mean, good for them because that's an investment.
Honey,
Yeah.
we need to talk. We got this package from Adam and Eve today, and it's full of dildos. What is going on? It's like, oh, that's fine. We're going to a Pats game. Oh, in that case, keep on being trash. Way to go, Bills.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, Mark.
It's really funny. Wow.
I would throw a dildo at Tom Brady if I had a chance.
Anybody
I
would.
would throw- right?
Bill Pretty Boy says
would-
Eagles fan threw snowballs at Santa Claus.
Yeah, but there's definitely batteries. Like I know they threw batteries at someone.
Were the snowballs full of batteries?
Battery
That
balls.
would be a good bit. That would be a great bit.
Philadelphia battery throwing. When did Phillies fans throw batteries? It turns out Philly sports fans actually threw batteries onto a sports field in 1999. Since then, throwing batteries has become somewhat of an urban legend. Oh, so maybe it never happened. Oh man, Philly, you're not quite the worst.
You did it,
Oh,
Philly.
I don't know about that, man.
Philadelphia is actually kind of a sad city. Because, like, they have no cultural identity other than being worse than New York and worse than D.C. And they're, like, stuck in the middle.
Right.
Like,
Well,
Baltimore's
cheesesteak.
similar to Philadelphia, but Baltimore is a prettier city. Like, it is a more visually interesting city. Philly's
Okay.
just, like, shitty New York. It's like, yeah, we got skyscrapers, look at them. And they're like, yeah, but they're all dirty.
They're not that big, really.
Yeah, also not that big.
They got cheesesteak and ECW. Got some stuff.
Yeah, all right. I'm back on. Let's go.
They got some things going for them. I'm pulling
I
for
don't
you,
know.
Philly.
I mean, it's also, I've spent a reasonable amount of time in Philly, so maybe I'm just, like, jaded to it. But, like,
Sure.
I don't know. You could do all of Philadelphia in about 3 hours. Whereas, like, I feel
Really?
like not many other cities you can say that about.
Right. I understand they have a pretty decent modern art exhibit. That's about
Do
it.
they? I've been in the Science Museum there, and that was okay.
Yeah. Well, they inherited it from someone who actively did not want them to have it because they insulted it when he collected it at the time. So he went out of his way to make sure they didn't get it, and they wound up getting it anyway.
Oh, that sucks.
It does suck. So I'll never see it, just on principle. But I understand it's pretty good.
From chat, we do have New York Mets
And that
fans.
was our cultural moment.
Welcome to Faith's Culture Corner. Faith, who are you protesting today?
Jerkbags.
And that's
Oh,
been
yeah,
Faith's-
John Rocker did deserve to get batteries thrown.
Oh,
at him.
yeah,
that guy
absolutely.
was worse.
And that's been Faith's Culture Corner. We'll see you next week.
Man, John Rocker would be an American hero nowadays.
No joke. God, that's sick.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
for
sorry,
sure.
what did Bulletproof Pretty Boy say? I'm sorry.
Oh, just so Greg said, New York Mets fans threw batteries at John Rocker at the 98 NLCS, but John Rocker definitely deserved it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gross. problem. You can't just go throwing batteries at everyone, but some people do deserve it. That's the lesson. That's the takeaway.
I would kill if someone tossed me some
delivered.
batteries today.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna go see this package.
Well, Greg's gone 50.
Better not be a box of dildos.
Spoiler alert, it's going to be a box of dildos. Ty secretly exchanged Greg's skateboard with a box of dildos earlier today.
It's a great bit.
We got Face Culture Corner and Ty's Prank Time.
A coworker of mine did send one of those, like, dildo glitter bombs to a customer once because the customer was being exceptionally difficult.
That's amazing.
Yeah. He deserved it.
Yeah.
Some people are just the worst.
Yes, exactly.
Dildo prank.
And dildos really are never not funny out of context.
They're very funny in any context.
That's true.
Like, I don't know. I just, like, I'm not dildo shaming. Like, go for go for what gets you off.
Yeah.
I mean, we all do weird things. You could all be winners. But I just think I think the idea of just like a independent floppy dick is got to be one of the funniest things on the planet.
Absolutely.
Because dicks are hysterical.
Right. They're ridiculous.
Right. Like, so much emphasis is put on such a stupid looking thing.
Ridiculous. I got it.
And then you start making them neon colors and...
Right. Or tentacles. I don't know. There's just something very funny about dildos to me.
Yeah, no joke. I totally agree.
Wow, he taped this like a fucking champion. Never getting this motherfucker out.
This is a real-time reveal.
Yeah. Unboxing. Kids love them, right?
Welcome to Greg's Unboxing Corner.
I hope this looks cool. I think it's going to.
I don't see how it couldn't.
Yeah. Well, it could be shitty. I don't know.
I spray painted a dildo on it.
I mean, I just saw pictures, right? Like, I don't know how good his craftsmanship is. Oh, it looks pretty good.
Whoa!
That's pretty rad.
That's pretty
Right?
rad. Yeah.
Tip.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I'm
dig
thrilled.
Right on. Very nice.
Yeah, it definitely looks better at a distance than it does close up. But who gives a shit? That's gonna go good on the wall.
Yeah, it's good. It's definitely a good wall piece.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled. Awesome.
It really pops.
Thanks, guy. That's he's an artist named Square Painter. You can find him on Twitter if anybody's interested in his stuff.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Good work, Square Painter.
Yeah,
You nailed
very
it.
good work. I'm thrilled. I had reached out to him about like doing a custom board for me, and he's like, "Well, I'm actually out of blanks because they're hard to come by, which they are. Like, I literally can't order them for work." He's like, "But I'm working on like a Zelda one, and I'm working on a Metal Gear one." I was like, "I want those."
Yeah.
Like, that's what I was going to ask for. I was literally going to ask for a Legend of Zelda skateboard. So,
Like,
Fun.
if I
worked
were
out
to
well.
pick 3 skateboards for Greg, it would be like Legend of Zelda, Metal Gear, and then a skateboard that gives you a blowjob somehow. So those are the 3 things
blowjob
Greg
board.
wants in the flesh board. Board.
I mean, there's nothing cooler than a skateboard. They all get me blowjobs, right?
Yep. Sure thing, bud.
All I need is a woman to see that on my wall, and they're like, "You skate?" And I'm like, "No," and they're like, "Not a problem."
Right? That's exactly how it works. Glad you
Welcome to my
understand.
mouth. Classic
Nailed it,
girl
buddy.
line.
Yep. Nailed it. You're killing it, buddy.
Oh. Living that dream.
Proud of you.
Our little boy's growing up. He's growing up. He's a tear to my eye.
Oh, John Rocker has his own conservative talk show now.
Of course
I,
he
does.
I shouldn't be surprised, right?
What a piece of shit.
I just don't understand it. You know, well, maybe I do understand it. Like, all these assholes, their general premise is like survival of the fittest, right? Like, if you're not fit enough, you don't deserve to have it, right? So, like, I understand their ideology. It's just such bullshit to me.
Right.
Like, why are you the way that you are?
Yeah. That's a great question.
Yeah.
It upsets me. And I mean, the truth of the matter is because that's what their parents taught them. Like,
Right.
that was the ideology of the people around them. But fucking evolve, man. Like, be better. There's
That's
no reason
exactly
to be
it.
an asshole now.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'm an asshole. But, like...
You gotta be a fun asshole.
But I can be sympathetic.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
I only turn into an asshole when people try to talk to me.
You can be an asshole and still be capable of human empathy.
Right. Which I think I do very well.
You walk the fine line.
I don't know. It's just just like look outside of yourself for 1 second, and that's
Right.
literally all it takes to be a better human being.
I will when there's a mirror in front of me.
Not about you for 4 seconds.
Right.
1, 2.
Oh boy, we're breaking him.
Ah!
We're breaking him.
Oh my God, John Rocker is not a handsome man.
No.
He was when he was young. He got all the ladies.
He is ugly on the inside and out. And his middle name's Loy? L-O-Y. Oh,
That's a weird one.
man, fire this guy just out of a cannon into the sun.
That's somebody I wouldn't mind dying.
Ooh, next top 5.
I am all about that life. 5 people I wouldn't mind dying.
Right?
I usually don't pimp like YouTube channels or anything, but Internet Comment Etiquette popped a new video out today, and it's dope as shit.
I love him.
Yeah, it's
I love him so much.
it's all about anti-mask people.
Oh, good.
It's great.
Anti-mask people. When were seatbelts, like, mandated? Like, I'm really curious what the discourse on that was.
I just
I'm
imagine.
sure it's very similar.
Right? It had to be.
Let's see.
I feel like maybe that was the 70s?
Sounds about right.
1984.
Get
Wow.
the fuck out.
New York was the first state to pass
What?
a law which required vehicle occupants to wear seatbelts.
Wow.
Do you imagine?
Jesus. I was already 3. I could have gone through a windshield at any time.
You could still do that.
And it wasn't until 1968 that the federal government mandated that all new cars must include seatbelts.
Wow.
So in 1967, you could just like fucking strap a milk crate to a
Yeah, just roll around in there. Who
motor.
cares?
And just just hold on, kids, we're hitting the bumpy road. Blah, 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 blah.
That does sound a little fun, Nick. Not gonna lie.
I'm back in. Yeah.
But
Oh, man.
we're almost certainly... there are still people now who shit on wearing their seatbelt and refuse to do it until they drive by a cop who happens to be, checking for seatbelts.
What are you talking about? I didn't do nothing. I had my seatbelt on the whole time.
But, like, seatbelts are even a little different to the mask thing because who gives
They
a fuck if
protect
you
you.
die?
Right, exactly. That's exactly it. I totally
Like,
agree. If some shitbag wants to die, I don't care.
Right, unless your, like, newly projectile body is heading for me.
Right.
I don't give a fuck.
Or
want
like
to
a
get that
busload of
dick.
children or something. I don't... Yeah.
Like, well, he was wearing a seatbelt, but the other asshole came through and crushed him with his body.
No, and that's exactly it. Wearing a mask protects everyone around you, and that's why people are like, fuck
Right.
you.
And you, though! Like, it's a double-way thing.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
Like if both of us wore condoms.
Well, I think the big thing I always equated to was I saw the pic of the peeing thing.
Yeah, I
where
love
it's
that.
like,
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
yeah, if you're both pissing, you're just gonna piss all over each other. If
Right.
if one's more person wearing pants, yeah, maybe get some piss on you, but you're not gonna piss on him. And then if you're both wearing pants, guess what? You're just pissing on each other. So go pee on yourself.
What kind of bizarre drunken debate did that spring from?
Oh, it's actually a pretty popular picture that's going around.
But,
Yeah, it's
but
just a
who
dude
came
peeing
up
on
with
another dude.
that? I know how we'll communicate it to them.
Speaking of bad fetishes, there we go.
This is something those dummies will understand.
Yeah.
Right.
Peeing on each other.
Yeah, you guys know how you always pee on each other.
Well, no, that's the
Yeah.
point, because you don't pee on each other.
I feel like we need to equate it to something they fear more. Like homosexuals or women
So
or any of
if-
those things.
So
Right.
if we're both coming on each other,
Right, cum.
Right. Yes.
Like homophobes hate the idea of cum that isn't theirs.
Right. Yeah. Or even come that
Terrifying
is
to them.
well, they love it. Yeah, they secretly love it. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe that's the problem.
Right.
They're just like, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna lick up all that lung cum you're coughing at me.
Give me your lung cum. It's a classic T-shirt. Sounds like a Kiss song. Lung cum.
Here's an article from October, this past October. For at least the 7th consecutive legislative session, lawmakers and driving safety advocates on Tuesday morning asked legislators to give police the ability to pull over and ticket drivers if anyone in the car is not wearing a seatbelt. So people are still like, fuck you and your seatbelts. Even now.
It's just so unbelievable to me.
Well, I should be wearing a bike helmet, huh? Well, when I'm wearing my bike helmet, that's ridiculous. Like I can just stand outside and not wearing a bike helmet, not on the bike, and just hit myself in the head with a hammer, huh? Huh? What about that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Should there be a lot of outlaw hammers? Huh? Huh? And next you're going to be outlawing dildos? And then what are the Democrats going to do? Let their dildos.
How will I hammer my nails without my dildos?
Anything's a dildo if you're brave enough.
I just pop on my tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, I bet big dildos got something to do with this. Big dildos.
Big
really-
dildo definitely has something to do with it.
I think we're
Don't
all in
ever
agreement on
question
that.
that.
Oh, they're in everything.
I mean, if they're doing it right.
It literally seems to be that people only take it seriously when someone specifically they know in their circle actually gets it for them to take it seriously.
Yeah.
Like they don't trust the numbers, they don't trust the data. It doesn't make any kind of sense to me.
I mean, I hate to see it, but I also love to see it. All like the montage people are doing. It's like people on Facebook, like, oh well, I ain't wearing no fucking mask. I'm not gonna listen to what fucking Bill Gates says, and he wants to inject me with his nanobots because I China flu, and that's what President told me not to wear a mask, even though he's wearing a mask now. And it's like, and then he
And
cuts
then
to
the
like
next pic
next
is
picture
them
is
in like
no,
a
next pic is
hospital bed, all hooked up to every machine imaginable. Oh, COVID's real. I didn't take it serious.
no, it's just their
Who
fucking
knew?
tombstone.
We didn't listen. We didn't listen.
Fucking Bill Gates hit me with his COVID laser. Ah, he got me.
That 4G
It's-
bullshit.
It's
5G.
exceptionally funny to me
Oh, right.
because these people are scared of the right people, but
Right.
for the
But not
wrong
for the right
reasons. They're
Absolutely.
like, Google's trying to put chips in me. Incorrect. However, they
Right.
have stolen all your personal data, and they are using that against you.
Sure.
So,
To make you buy
close-
dildos.
Close, just
A little,
Redirect.
yeah. Right.
I'm just
A
gonna-
little less crazy.
I'm gonna check
Right.
one thing here. Hold on
A little more
one
money
second.
driven.
like
Wanna-
Big Dildo is not trying to steal your thoughts,
No, they just want you to buy more
but
dildos.
they are recording your biorhythms, and they're trying to sell you different biorhythm stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
You gotta watch out for Big Dildo.
I'm on Twitter, and the first promoted tweet I see is for dildos. So we did it, guys. We got there. Thanks, Google.
Yeah, we did it.
Dildo,
Right.
dildo, dildo.
We actually, back when I had my store, Mark and I were working, we were just looking at conspiracy theories and stuff. So let's try it. We just yelled fursuits at each other for like an hour.
Okay.
And yeah, they popped up.
I'm sure that was good for business.
It was towards the end.
Grown men
no
shouting fursuit.
It worked out better than when the dude who was new to the area came in and started yelling to me about reptilians and shit.
You should have listened to that, man.
Oh, I did.
Oh, good.
Whenever anybody comes at me with a crazy conspiracy theory, my initial response is, yes, please tell me more.
Yes, good. Yes. Gather all the information you can.
Oh, yeah. He's just like, yeah, I'm new to the area, and I just moved in here. I used to live back here when I was younger, and, it's just nice to be around with the reptilians aren't all over the place. It's like, oh, wait, just rewind that for a second. Just,
I mean, he's not wrong.
let's take two. Hold on.
Reptilians, you say?
Yeah. So were these like, you just don't like reptiles? Like there's no snakes around? Because I mean, we have like temperate climates. So it's like, no, the reptilians are government. It's like, oh yes, gold mine. Oh,
Right?
I love it. Oh, I listen to crazy people talk crazy stuff all day.
It's a gift.
Unless it's my mom when she just comes out with COVID stuff on Facebook. It's like, oh boy. No.
Yeah, I recently had to unfollow your mom. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Every now and then she posted like incredibly embarrassing pictures of you. So like I really wanted that.
Yeah, no, it's
Baby, hi.
But also she has some real hot takes.
yeah. Oh yeah.
She makes my dad look sane, and that's saying something.
Yeah, but I was outside having a dart, like when we got to your place from moving, and he was like, "What do you think about this COVID stuff?" And I was like, "Oh boy,
Here it comes.
do I want to do it for reals, or
Love it.
do I want to get it about how this is all just a Democratic plot to make Trump look bad and make everybody flip flop on masks because the mask will eventually cause the oxygen in your mouth to limit your brain function. So then it's like, yeah, I know. I can do this for a while. I absorb all of it and I love it. I don't believe any of it. I know it's all insane conspiracy bullshit. But oh my god, I love crazy insane conspiracy bullshit. But I still don't go on Facebook. Because that's too much.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how people like think that they know better. Like every expert on the planet is telling you that this is a problem, like global warming. You know?
Right.
And like they'd rather believe that there's some sort of like global conspiracy than believe that we're in danger.
Right. Well, like you said, there are plenty of global conspiracies, but they're not focusing on the right ones.
Right. Right. Like they think capitalism is a good thing.
Right.
It's like, no, that is the source of your problems. The fact that you are trusting these people is the problem.
Right. It's a bunch of wealthy pedos pulling all the strings.
That's
the problem.
Zane Maxwell just got caught. I know she's gonna die in a minute. Shit. They just killed the oh, it's
The family of the judge who was assigned to her case.
well, no, she was actually
They
assigned.
killed her?
No, they killed her husband and son, but she was actually assigned to a class action suit that was against the banks, one of which had Jeffrey Epstein as a co-founder, co-signer or something on it.
Okay.
My right eye stopped working. Hold on.
But then the weird twist was that the guy who killed them also wound up dead.
Yeah. And they also attempted to sue Jim Norton off of the Opening Anthony show.
He doesn't have anything.
Pull the threads! Follow the money! Okay?
He doesn't have anything.
I know, that's why he didn't do it. Everything's crazy now.
I would bet dollars to donuts he lives in a studio apartment.
But like a nice one, you know?
I mean, yeah, it's probably fine, but...
With an indoor bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah, he probably has his own bathroom. That's
He
probably
doesn't share
about
it with no one.
Right.
But yeah, I spend way too much time following crazy people. I go down so many rabbit holes a day. It's just like, oh, what's going on here?
Sometimes it's fun, and then sometimes it just makes me real sad.
Yeah, it's fun until it gets like just a smidge too real.
Right.
You mean when it starts making sense, Gregory? When it starts making sense?
Good point, Ty.
Maybe I'll take a break.
Yeah.
Let's see what's happening
Maybe
on
you've
YouTube.
had enough internet for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he shows up on the next stream wearing a tinfoil hat, we'll know.
All right, with tinfoil boxers on.
Good, you gotta protect the boys.
Protect him from Big Dildo.
Yeah.
He won his wiener.
Absolutely.
But Big Dildo and the COVID lasers are coming at me. Okay, they want to sterilize my boys. So
They're
make
gonna
sure
chop it off, make him irrelevant.
Right?
it's me and Alex Jones in the New World Order. That's all that's happening.
So. What a good joke.
Great stuff.
So before we jump into our top five, I just want to touch on this one as we have spent the entire just lamenting movies and talking about crazy people. This is my dream stream right now. I love this.
Yeah, right?
This is everything I wanted. The Christopher Nolan movie Tenet has been pushed back indefinitely because of A, no one's going to fucking theaters. B, any movie that's longer than 2 hours is banned from being shown in theaters.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and C, like there's no one's doing IMAX. So, and instead of doing it on like on demand or VOD or anything, they're just like now we're just gonna once we can get it in there, we'll get it in there.
Huh, okay.
And I think the 2 hour thing might just be in China as opposed to in here.
Interesting.
I mean, China is almost as big, if not bigger, of a market than America is
Right.
now, so
That makes sense.
makes sense.
Dude.
And like also in China, there's like literally no piracy laws. So if it comes out here, no one will go see it in China because it'll already be bootlegged
Right.
a billion times.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good point.
So I just thought,
Yeah.
that was interesting.
That is a good point. A plus, Greg.
You did it, buddy.
You're doing great work today.
And on that, I'm out.
You're killing it.
I got my good boy points.
I will postmate you some tendies.
Yeah.
So with that, you guys want to take a quick fiver before we jump in? Does you guys have anything else you want to touch on? Oh, I was going to talk
I
about.
wouldn't mind grabbing a snack. You guys were going to talk about that wrestling thing that happened.
We watched Extreme Rules. It was pretty garbage.
Great.
Were there any highlights? I don't remember any highlights. Like, there was a bunch of fucking nonsense and stuff that made no sense. Oh, you know what? The Kevin Owens and Buddy Murphy match was actually pretty good.
On the kickoff
Buddy
show.
Murphy.
Kickoff show.
That was good.
Uh,
That was a good solid match. It didn't do anything for either of them, but it was a good solid match.
New Day lost their titles when Cesaro put Kofi through like 2 tables with a hell of a powerbomb. That was dope.
That was cool looking. I saw that.
I do like the belts on Cesaro and Nakamura.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
They're too good to not have belts.
Right, both of
I
them are
agree.
too talented to be nobodies.
I agree.
Especially Cesaro. I think Nakamura's lost it for sure. But
Well,
he's
he's
still
in
talented.
the waning portion of his career. He's already peaked.
Right. And he doesn't give a shit. He's just collecting
Why
his
would he?
paycheck.
Why would he?
Yeah,
Right.
they're giving nothing. Like just
Right.
But yeah, I think Cesaro is so fucking good.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Like I think they see him as someone who can't cut a promo, but like in a weird way, his lack of ability to cut a promo is charming.
I love that. I loved
Me
it even
too.
more when he had the mouthpiece in. I thought that was
Me
fucking
too.
brilliant. Just make it even more mushmouthy.
Which would be hysterical. Literally
Right?
the funniest moment of any WCWTF thing we've ever done was when Scott Steiner was mumbling his lines because he had the mask on. Like just do that.
Yeah, lean in.
And like Buff was translating for him. Like hysterical.
Like I'm glad that Asuka's doing it, but this is something Nakamura could have been doing. Just doing like really high energy, fun promos in Japanese and just letting him do that. But instead, they're just like, no, keep him off there. But
he's doing the Mystique thing.
yeah.
He's the artist.
Yeah.
We had the Battle of the Thickness with Bayley versus Nikki Cross.
Yeah. Them girls is thick. Good for them.
Bayley retains. It's a solid match. I like Nikki Cross a lot, but she's not ready to be. The weirdest part of that match was when Bayley had her, like, she pulled the apron out, like, beat her up, and then she went over to, like, yell at commentary, and then Nikki Cross, like, crawled under the ring and was like, I'm over here now! It's like, what?
Well, she's got weird, unpredictable energy, I guess. That's her thing.
She's the Scottish one who just... Yeah. Ugh.
No, you don't care for her?
No bueno.
I think she's rolling too hard on Bayley's old gimmick, where she's, like, too happy-go-lucky and just kind of happy to be there. Maybe a little...
I believe it, I think. Like, to me, it seems like she's acting excitable.
It'll be good when Alexa turns on her. No, it'll be good. It'll be good when there's that turn. I think that'll be good. Because her heart will be broken and she'll be crazy Nikki again. I think that'll be fun.
I think she's fine in the ring. I just don't love the gimmick.
No.
Right.
Ray versus Seth in the eye for an eye match. Oh my god.
So goddamn stupid.
The ending this, I was rolling. When he just pushes the eye in, and then they pull away, and they go over to Seth, and he's about to, like, do a curb stomp, and he's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And he cut over to Rey Mysterio, and he's got this, like, fake eye, and he's like, oh no, my eye is totally out. Fuck. Oh.
That was bad. That was cringy.
Well, how did they think that was gonna go?
But maybe as good as they expected it to. Oh. Asuka versus Sasha was a great match. A few botches towards the end, and then of course
it got sloppy at the end. But other than that,
the wonky finish just sucked.
That was awful.
Asuka accidentally spit in the ref's eye with her mist. Which, now I think about it, maybe not the best thing to do when your entire company is ravaged by COVID.
I'm surprised they're letting her do that, actually.
I'm sure they're testing her frequently, or not at all. It's WWE. Who cares?
It don't matter.
And then Bayley came in, ripped the ref shirt off, and then pinned, like,
used Sasha's body to pin Asuka.
Yeah.
And then ran over and started threatening the bell guy.
Yeah.
So he rang the bell, and then they just took the belts and bebopped and scattered away. And I remember thinking,
yeah. It was like, oh, this is good. This is going to be really terrible when Sasha wins.
Right.
And Sasha won.
But it was so much worse than I could have anticipated.
Yeah. For the WWE Championship, we had Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler, and the match stipulation was Extreme Rules for Dolph Ziggler only. Ooh.
Oh, I love that.
Don't. It was awful. That's
very funny.
The best thing was watching Ziggler get thrown into the plexiglass. That
was fun.
Man, I don't care. The stipulations, like, I'm reading this, they gave this match an A-. It's like, oh, good, the stipulations put everything on the heel, so the face has to overcome all these bad things and win. Man, I'm so glad I've never ever seen that before in wrestling.
So stupid. I just don't care about Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
I can't care about him now. Like, there's nothing left.
Right.
He's here to show the world. He's here to show the world.
Right, I mean, like, he's had that theme song for a decade now.
Yeah. He's had everything he's doing for a decade now. He hasn't changed.
Like, look at the people who are successful. You know, even Kane has had multiple Kane versions.
Of course. You have to evolve.
Right. He was a cheerleader, and then he was Dolph Ziggler. And full stop.
Yep. That's it.
You should change this theme song to I've shown the world, and I suck.
Well, and that I think is an even more tragic bit of it, that he actually is talented. It's just I don't give a shit.
Right.
Like, he's perfectly capable in the ring. But I don't care.
Just the same shtick for the last decade.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Although my favorite Dolph Ziggler moment was during that train wreck of a what's that match where they're all in the pods?
Elimination Chamber?
Yes!
The best
and
match ever?
Fucking yes!
Jungle
And you
Kitty
could
Mark
just
Henry.
Yes, and you could just hear him shouting, and no one's doing anything.
You
and
stop.
He's trying so...
You
Right.
fight him. You fight him. Mark Henry's like,
Yeah,
oh no.
That's one of my favorite moments of wrestling ever.
Oh.
And I have him to thank, so...
It's all
Thank you for
downhill
that.
from there.
Dupe Zookaloops.
Dupe Zoopler.
Does Elimination Chamber have the most, like, fuck-up matches?
It's up there.
There's a lot of them where they were like, I'm going to put him through the glass. Like, he's not going to go through the glass. And then he goes through the glass, and they were like,
Right.
then they didn't know what to happen. Like, I forget who that was. I feel like it was like Jericho and Kane or something.
They told him not to put him through the glass. And then Kane had come out early when he wasn't supposed to because they fucked that up.
Right.
And then they're brawling on the outside, and Jericho's like, put me through the glass. And Kane's like, you fucking right, I'm putting you through the glass.
That's brilliant.
It's a... And everyone was pissed, and they're just like, hey, you guys did a great job out there.
I love a good train wreck.
And your main event was Boopy Stringbean versus old school Bray Wyatt in a Wyatt Swamp Fight non-title match.
I mean, a guy was on fire. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was okay.
Like, the Firefly Funhouse, I love. I love that match.
Yeah.
It's meta. It's goofy. Like, it's fine. I understand they couldn't do it with Braun Strowman because he's just not... He doesn't have the presence that, like, John Cena does.
Well, and there was some logic to that one. Like, you could actually follow the narrative to the extent that it made sense within context. But fucking there was just what did we even see?
He shows up and Bray's in the rocking chair, and then all of a sudden all the lights go down in this swamp, and then Bray's gone, and then Braun destroys the rocking chair, and then he gets attacked by swamp ninjas. Greg,
Swamp Ninja.
swamp ninjas.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that was-
great.
Yeah.
Was it Lil Nate helping pulling a demon out of the swamp?
How good would that have been?
If there was a sword torch, I'd be into it.
Yeah, Dale Torch.
It looked like a couple of stunt guys in like coveralls,
And then
from what I could tell.
And then one dude without a face mask who gets thrown into a fire. So,
Yeah.
Maybe his name was Sword, and he was the torch.
Maybe. Oh,
You're
that's
the
beautiful.
physical embodiment of the Torch.
It's really beautiful.
It's just,
But then Alexa Bliss was like Sister Abigail for some reason. I don't know if like
they were
was-
tagging together during the intergender tag team fracas
right.
a while back,
But
and they had kind of like a thing kind of brewing.
But was he just hallucinating that?
Yes.
Or okay, so she's not really Sister Abigail? Is that
No.
what we're led to believe?
It was a hallucination brought on by Bray's swamp poison ninjas, who were to try to bring him back into the fold by saying like, "Yo,
Right.
if you come and hang out with Bray again, you can get this sweet Alexa Tonka truck bouncing action going on."
I forgot that all swamp ninjas are just coated in hallucinogenic poisons.
I think that's just by nature.
Slathered in it. Yeah.
That's Swamp Ninja 101.
Right. No, you're right. I forgot that. That's my
Get
bad.
your facts straight, Faith.
And it ends with someone getting dragged into the water, and then the fiend comes out of it. So I guess we're just they're just
So
setting
yeah,
up.
there's probably another match with the fiend though, opposed to plain old Bray.
Because they already had Bray, like Firefly Bray, and now we had
Right.
Swamp Bray. And I think at SummerSlam we're gonna see Fiend versus Braun, but I think Fiend's gonna take this one, and then it basically restarts the feud, even though
Right.
Braun's already 2-0. I don't
Is
know.
Braun Strowman a champion now?
He's the champion.
Oh, good for him. Is Drew McIntyre out?
Well, no, he's the SmackDown champ, or right? Isn't he?
Who's the SmackDown champ?
I
One
think.
of them is the Universal, right? And then one of them is just the heavyweight champion, right?
Hold on.
No, they're not heavyweights because then not just anybody can have it.
Yeah, Drew's the WWE champion, and Braun is the Universal champion.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay.
I forget which ones means anything anymore.
They don't mean
Neither.
anything. That's the problem. Yeah.
This is the answer to that question.
All right, guys, I'm gonna pop the
Many
break.
a year.
I'm gonna pop up the break message because I really got to use the restroom. So,
Sure.
if you guys want to continue
Yeah.
talking
All
or
right,
whatnot,
I could use a snack.
Yeah, let's all take a break.
all right, we'll be back in 5 minutes with our top 5 summer blockbusters of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got yourself a delicious ice cream? Right
Fuck
on.
yeah.
What's that, a Magnum?
I'll put those in my mouth. No, this is one of the Halo Top ones, which I really like. But they're like 100 calories a piece, which means I can eat a whole box and not feel too bad.
Fucking A. That's the way to do it, man.
They're really good for what they are.
Sure. Right on.
I'm feeling a little better now.
Good.
I ate terribly yesterday, though. But I didn't feel bad because I felt like I burned 1,000 calories.
Sure.
Yesterday was a fucking nightmare.
It doesn't sound fun.
By the end of the day, I literally couldn't pick anything up anymore. Like, it was weird.
Ooh.
It was like my muscles didn't work.
Right. Yeah, that
It's been
happens.
a long time since I felt that way. Excuse me.
But you scored some sweet furniture, so.
I really did. Not just sweet furniture, but I got like a lot of nice things. Like I got like a nice cake platter and a bunch of like pans. Like I just casually was like, "Dad, what are you doing with that pan?" He's like, "Nothing." Like, why do you want it? I was like, "Yeah." I looked it up. It's like a brand new $200 pan. It's like,
Ooh. Right
I'll
on.
take it. Yeah, especially since I'm a baker now.
Ooh, fucking A.
Fuck yeah.
Did you bake anything good this week?
I showed you my bread last week. No,
Yeah.
not this week, but I have things in my mind. I just haven't had a chance to do them yet.
I love that.
Yeah. It's fun. I like baking.
Good.
I like cooking too. I'm just shit at it.
I like eating. Like, I can't. Not so much the cooking, though.
I'm better with things that don't require a lot of attention.
Yeah, the crock pot's my friend.
Crockpot is my lifeline during the
Right?
winter times.
I love a good crock pot.
So good.
All right, we're back. We're going to talk some blockbuster movies. I'm going to preface this by saying, when I was probably 16, had my first job, had my car, and I had a calendar on my wall where I had written down like every movie that was coming out that summer, everything that I wanted to see. So like I had a schedule for movies I was going to see. I used to be a big cinephile, and aside from video games, movies are probably still my like most beloved thing.
I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome and fun.
Yeah.
So when I went with my top 5 summer blockbusters, I picked the movies that either I have seen the most in theaters or just seen the most since they came out because I love them so much.
Cute.
I didn't go by like movie like top gross or anything like that. I just went with movies that I think are quintessential summer blockbuster movies that I either loved growing up or I still love to this day.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, this is definitely more of an emotional thing to me. Like this is how I feel about this movie
Right.
than a scientific thing. Because like my number 1 is not my favorite movie on this list, but it's the one that to me is just like the quintessential summer blockbuster.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, who wants to go first? I'll start.
All right.
Great.
Greg, kick us off.
My number 5 is the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. As I was talking with Ty yesterday, to me, there's like a couple elements of a blockbuster that I think are important. I think it has to be pretty big budget.
Okay.
I also think it has to generally be some sort of like escapist medium. So to me, in a weird way, the fact that it's kind of dumb is almost important to it being a summer blockbuster for me.
Okay.
Like I don't want to think about it too much. Like it can be like, you know, a lot of times it's science fiction, so a lot of times there's like some science behind it, as you'll see as we go up the list or whatever. But like I don't need to understand the science. Like you can just tell me, oh, we made these aliens, and I'm like, yeah, all right, that's dumb, and I like it. So to me, Pirates of the Caribbean is like it's it's a fun movie. It's a well-made movie, but like, is it the best movie of all time? No, but it cost a lot. It made a ton. It's fun to watch, and it's just sort of enjoyable.
Sure.
And that's like quite literally the only criteria I have for these. I
Right.
actually took something off because I thought it was too good of a movie, which we'll go over when we get to honorable mentions. I'll bring it up, but like it didn't gross enough, and I think it's too good, so I took it off the list.
Well, I think another thing with blockbusters, certainly at least at this point, is how merchandisable they are, and that one
Yes.
definitely was.
For sure. I think like putting like action figures and like the side of a Happy Meal box and stuff like that. Like that's
Yeah.
important. And I also think cultural zeitgeist is important to me.
Sure.
Like it's a movie that you kind of go see not because you're interested in seeing it, but because
Right.
everyone's seeing it and everyone's talking about it.
Right. It's like an event.
Right.
Sure. And they had built-in marketing with
Yeah. Yeah.
the
The ride.
ride and everything. So yeah, that's a great pick.
That's a good one. I was very anti-pirates when it first came out.
I think it's quite a
Pirates
good
are
movie.
good people.
It was just me being the contrarian at the point. It's like, oh, this is making money. Oh, it's just based off a theme. I've watched them all again, and man, that second one is a lot of fun. The first one's a good movie, so
I think
Sure.
the first one is the only one that I truly love. The rest of them
Okay.
are like I could take them or leave them. And I found like the second and third one I found to be like real steeped in lore. Like it's like no, let's explain all this stuff, and I'm like I don't want any of that.
yeah, the first one.
Um,
First one's a solid movie. Yeah, it's.
And
Yeah.
I mean I haven't seen the fourth or fifth, and soon to be the sixth. I haven't seen any of those. So
Jesus, I didn't realize there were that many.
Yep.
there's a billion of them. Like now it's Will Turner's kid or something, or fucking I don't know.
Yeah. What's her
Who was
face? Nebula's gonna be the new Johnny Depp.
Really?
Yeah.
Amy
Huh.
Pond.
Yep.
Is that her real name?
Karen Gillian.
Karen Gillan.
Yeah.
Karen Gilliam.
Yeah.
Some with a G.
She's all right, I guess.
I'm into it.
I don't know that I care, but I think that's another good sign of a successful blockbuster. 1 million spinoffs. So.
Right. Like this made $1 billion.
Franchise.
We need more. Please give me
Right.
more.
Well, they did the first one, and that was a hit. They filmed 2 and 3 together, and just waited a year to
Okay.
in between both of them. The fourth one was bad. The fifth one was worse. And now,
Let's bring it back around again.
yeah, they're trying. Oh Lord, they're trying.
It's a great pick.
I didn't put any Transformers on my list. I feel like maybe that was an error. I don't know when they came out, and I won't. And maybe they're on yours, so I won't.
They're
blow you
all
up.
summer ones, but they're not on my list.
All right.
Mine neither.
Faith, you want to take us into your number 5?
My number 5, I went with the OG, Jaws. Considered to
Yeah.
be the very first. And I know that a lot of the special effects don't hold up, but I'm sure if I'd seen it when it came out, I would have shit my fucking pants.
Yeah,
Um,
everybody would have. Everyone did. I mean, it literally, like, tourism suffered that year.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And understandable, like that created this whole mythos about the terrifying nature of sharks.
Right.
So it was a great premise. It was Spielberg, and he pretty much created blockbusters almost as a genre. Got the adrenaline pumping. There was action. It was a summer setting, and I think that made it a really great summer movie too.
Right.
And everyone saw it, and everyone was terrified.
Did it take place over July 4th weekend? Because I feel like
It was Labor Day, I think.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of these movies come out like quite literally on July like 2nd, 3rd, or 4th.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Right.
to me that's also like I literally just pulled up Transformers 1 right now. It came out on July 3rd. I think legitimately half the things on my list came out the weekend of July 4th. And I think that's important too. I think that's very telling what the intent is of those movies.
I totally agree.
Jaws, it's perfect. I left it off my list, but strictly because I assumed at least one of you, if not both of you, would put it on there.
Yeah.
But you're right. It is the definition of summer blockbuster. It created the entire genre.
It was between that and like Indiana Jones were both like the two that like blew up summers. Because before that, summer was not the time to release good movies.
Right. In fact, they put them there in summer because they didn't expect anything out of them at first.
Sure.
What a weird time, just like 35 years ago. Or however long, 45?
Yeah.
45, like, oh man, just odd. My number 5 goes to, admittedly not a good movie, admittedly a flop, but it is actually one of the first movies I remember going to see. And it is a sequel to what was my number 5. It's Ghostbusters 2. I remember this specifically because I remember seeing this in theaters. I don't remember seeing it. I remember being so hyped going to see it. I remember so hyped coming out of it. I remember like being in the theater and seeing like they used a Nintendo controller to control the Statue of Liberty, guys. How fucking cool is that? This is the best thing a little Ty has seen in his entire life. They had slime guns. I mean, granted, I still think Ghostbusters 2 is a fine movie. But man, it's nothing compared to the first one, hands down. But like the Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 are two movies that I've seen countless times since then. And God, what a franchise. That, fingers crossed, maybe next year, if we have movies back, we'll see a nice Ghostbusters 3.
I can't imagine that one's going to be any good.
They're just taking Stranger Things and making it into Ghostbusters.
I don't know if that's a fair comparison. I understand the comparison because it has the Stranger Things guy in it. But I don't know. I just don't know where it goes.
Is there a script?
Oh, there's a trailer.
The movie's made.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it kind of looks like it looks like a very soft reboot. Like they like the new Ghostbusters, the chick Ghostbusters didn't acknowledge the old Ghostbusters. It was like, here's a completely new one. Whereas this one is similar to like Jurassic World. It's like, yeah, Jurassic Park happened, but here's a whole new retelling of the story.
Yeah, it's like Egon's kid or something like, or Egon's grandkid or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm kind of into that.
It could be cool.
If they're going to do this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
I just don't have any like legitimate expectations that it's going to be worthwhile.
It's got to be better than the last one.
That's fair.
So.
Right.
Well, they didn't film 4 hours of them just bebopping and scatting over hair color, and then Paul Feig, like a terrorist, asks if anybody wants to release this. No, Paul Feig, no one wants this.
Sony wanted it. Sony wants anything.
Sony's the worst. Fucking.
They are the worst. That's correct. Oh, you're back. Okay.
Do you see the shit about Krayshawn?
Krayshawn?
Krayshawn, the girl who rapped Gucci Gucci, Gucci Gucci Louie Louie. That song. It was a big hit.
No, I don't know anything about Krayshawn's Gucci Gucci Lucci Lucci.
I think you'd really dig it. It's a good song.
It sounds filthy.
It's basically about how she's not a basic bitch and everyone else is.
Well, I love that.
She made no money off of it.
Sounds like a great theme song.
She made no money, and she made no money, and she's in debt to Sony $800,000, and it was a sizable hit. So.
Banana.
Why? Because she was on Sony's label, or did Sony sue her for some sort of?
She was on Sony's label.
Oh, yeah. PlayStation 5 coming this summer.
Yeah. Hard pass.
Buy it up.
I'll spend that money to upgrade my PC. Greg, number 4.
Oh, I gotta find my list again. Hold on. Patiently wait. My number 4 This is probably the best movie on this list. Terminator 2.
God, that's such a good one.
James Cameron is the blockbuster director now.
Yeah.
Like, Spielberg had a few of them for sure,
Sure.
but every fucking James Cameron movie is like, everyone stop what you're doing, let's go see this movie.
Right.
Terminator 2 is a tremendously well-made movie. It's a tremendous sequel. I mean, quite possibly one of the best sequels of all time.
Oh,
No
yeah,
joke.
absolutely.
But at the end of the day, it's still pretty fucking stupid. And it made $1 gajillion.
Yeah, it's stupid
And-
awesome.
Right.
And I think it came out on July 4th, which I'm gonna look up right now.
I got it. I got you. $1991.
July 3rd.
Sometimes I just feel super
Nice.
old.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but this movie's great. But there's like lots of explosions, lots of great special effects. Cost $1 billion to make, made $1 billion. Well, 550 million, but in 1991 dollars, that was insane.
Right.
It only cost $100 million, 94 to 100 million to make.
Yeah, but like that was like the most money of all time.
Yeah, and they made 5 times that, so that's pretty dope.
Right.
Right. Like I remember when Waterworld came out, I think that cost like $150 million, and everyone was like, movies
Shitting
will
their
never be
pants.
more expensive than this.
Right. Yeah.
I gotta take that off my list now.
Waterworld?
No, I put Waterworld on my list. Oh man.
I don't know what you're doing. Waterworld. Waterworld cost $175 million to make.
Made 264 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Jesus
mind-blowing.
Christ. I've never even seen this movie.
You're not missing anything.
No?
No.
I think I'm still gonna watch it.
Because I said the same thing to myself not too long ago. Sometime last year, I was like, I've never seen this movie. I should really watch this movie. And then I was like, why did I watch that movie?
Why did I do this?
I did that with
Why don't I take better care of myself?
I did that with fucking The Assignment.
What has my life become?
Oh.
Exactly. I stand to gain nothing from this.
I'm worse off than when I started.
That's exactly what it was.
Good
What's
news!
the
Never
opposite
had
of
that time back.
self-improvement?
Good news! I'm 2 hours older. Hooray!
True. Yeah, that's
I
an
mean,
excellent pick.
I suppose if your goal is to be closer to death,
Yeah,
you did it.
definitely. That's a great, and you will feel every single second of it. So, fucking enjoy. But
yeah,
Terminator
so-
2, great fucking pick.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
made it to my honorable mentions.
Excellent. Also, just what a good movie. James Cameron is such a good
Yeah.
fucking director. Even his worst movie, which I think is The Abyss, is still like a solid B.
Well, and like you said, he definitely excels in the blockbuster arena because of all the action and the explosions and the special effects. He uses them all to great effect.
Agreed.
Dude, I mean, he's like, if Michael Bay was good,
Yes.
he just knows how to do it. It's so good.
But Michael
Right.
Bay makes a movie every year, whereas James Cameron makes a movie every 7 to 10 years. So
Sure.
like, that's craftsmanship. Like he thinks
Right.
about these things, whereas Michael Bay is like, no, just reuse the scenes we shot from The Island and just put the Transformer in it, which is a thing that has literally happened.
Well, we're gonna start this new Transformers movie. What? Writer's strike? Just go out to the desert and start filming explosions.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out in post.
Right. Yeah.
Like
Which-
the
which
dude
is a thing
took
that
scenes
happened.
from one movie and put them in another.
Uh,
And he's like, no one will
Well-
notice. And everyone was like, hey, isn't that the same scene?
He's fucking big budget Ed Wood, for Christ's sake.
yeah, that's
Kind of, yeah.
not untrue.
Jesus.
You remember that Got Milk, that Aaron Burr Got Milk commercial?
Yeah, I make fun of that all the time. Once Hamilton got big, I was like, guys, they turned that Got Milk commercial into a movie.
Michael Bay directed that commercial.
Really?
So he's responsible for Hamilton.
Yeah. I want my Hamilton money.
It's all coming together.
I was wondering why a giant robot stomps down on Hamilton's back at the end of the movie, at the end of the play. It was odd.
Hamilton, I've come from the future. I have brought you the Bill of Rights.
It's a real weird shift in tone.
Away!
Ride me, Hamilton! Ride me!
Turns into a horseless carriage.
Aw. Now I want to see Hamilton too.
We gotta make this.
The revenge.
Hamilton too. Oh, that's funny.
That's good. Hamilton returns.
I'm back in robot form. Also, I'm a
Okay.
Ford Fusion. Sponsored by Ford. 165 Hamilton horsepower is coming at you.
I mean, that would put butts in seats. I'm just
Alexander, come with me if you want to duel.
It's just two Ford Fusions circling around each other in the desert.
Yo, Alexander Hamilton, it's me, Vin Diesel. You ready to do this? Wow, is that your character name? Who cares?
I'm Groot. Vroom.
We gotta go save the Rock from a nuclear explosion.
I'm a Groot car.
I am Car.
Love it.
I'd watch a movie about like a Vin Diesel Vespa vesping around.
Right? That's $1 million idea.
I just got it. Universal just bought our pitch, guys. So,
Oh,
Good work.
we did it.
Did it.
and we owe them $84.
Damn it.
Fuck.
They got the
Sony
lawyers.
style.
Right.
Movie business is a fickle bitch.
We should have had more penetration.
Ah.
Big dildo. Get them in on this.
Right?
Dildo
alright,
Fork and sponsor Transformers. Big
Dildo bots,
sponsor our
activate.
Dildo bot movie.
Ooh, dildo bots.
Hamilton, I need to be in
Man.
you in order for us to save America.
This movie has everything. God damn.
Yeah,
Romance,
it's a real crowd pleaser.
I'm so proud of you.
Vin Diesel. Darth Maul's in there somewhere. He's got a double-sided
Double-sided dildo.
dildo saber. Just
Fucking A. Fucking A he does. It's terrifying and erotic.
Yeah.
Faith number 4.
Okay, speaking of James Cameron and sequels, my number 4, I went with Aliens. He managed to take an exceptional haunted house movie in space and turn it into an incredible action film. You know, there were actually, and again, this is probably the best movie on my list as well. It had, you know, actual real human themes, but it also had a lot of great explosions and tremendous setting and you know, that snappy, shitty blockbuster dialogue. And
Game over, man. Game over.
right? It was a really immersive, really just struggling with my words today. It was
It's
a really
one of those
immersive.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really immersive experience. But it really it took something and sent it into a really unexpected place. And I thought that was, as far as blockbusters go, I felt like that was really ingenious to take something that was a horror franchise and turn it into something
Right.
the same but different.
If you want to go like more modern with it, it's literally one of the original subverting expectations. You know, so you go from it's like oh my god, this ripping through my chest to game over, man. It's
Right.
Yeah, it's and they're both amazing.
It does a tremendous job of like iterating on the idea, but still maintaining like continuity within the original idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're right. It does. You kind of going into that movie, you just sort of expect the same thing, like
Right.
a solitary alien on a ship fucking people up or whatever.
Right.
But by the end, it is just a straight up action movie that happens to have still be scary as fuck because the villains are scary.
Right.
No, that's a great
Such a
pick.
job.
Yeah, that's a great. pick.
And I mean, legitimately one of the greatest action movies of all time.
Oh, hands down.
So good.
And doing Aliens Night. So good.
Yeah,
At least
definitely.
At least up until Resurrection, because oh man, that's where things get like real dumb. And it's like, is that Whedon? Was that Whedon?
Maybe.
What? What was it?
Alien Resurrection.
Alien Resurrection.
He wrote it. He didn't direct it. That French dude directed it, which is why it's so like slightly weird.
Luc Besson.
No,
Jean-Pierre Jeunet.
That guy.
Mm-hmm.
The French are so peculiar. Like the French movies are so peculiar because there is something off about all of them. And you know, like Luc Besson is the classic example because he's the most famous for sure. But there's always some slightly uneasiness to them because everyone just acts like a facsimile of a human being in French directed
So
movies.
true.
And it's like so hard to pin down, but it's distinctly there.
He would
balding.
direct Alien Resurrection, and then go on to write and direct Amelie.
Which is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
That's so fucking bizarre.
What a pedigree.
Right?
Yeah. Whoa, wowie, way, whoa. Oh, by the way, we're bringing back Borat stuff. That's happening.
Oh yeah, Ty and I decided that yesterday.
Yeah, you keep living your best lives.
We
That's what I
tried.
want for both of you.
We try it like every 2 years.
I never stopped saying my wife, just so everyone.
King of the castle. King of the castle.
I say that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Because I just generally enjoy the idea of a chair-based meritocracy.
We did an entire bit about this at
I think it's
PAX
very
one
funny.
year. Yeah.
It's tremendous.
You
I just
expect-
like the idea of giving better chairs to people the higher they go up in life.
You're on a stool on this recliner? Come on, Billy. What the fuck do you think you're trying to tell me?
That would be a good origin story for Chairface.
Oh, yeah.
If he was raised in a chair-based.
As opposed to just getting bitten by a radioactive stool.
Right.
My number.
Where are we?
My number four.
Okay.
My number
Guy's
four.
number 4.
And once again, I'm trying to do this in kind of a reasonable time frame. My number 4 goes to also probably the best movie on my list, Back to the Future, which is a movie that I have seen so many times. And man, I just love it. I named my former business after this fucking movie.
Aw.
So
There's a legitimate chance that I've seen Back to the Future more than probably any other movie. The only movie that might give it a run for its money is The Matrix.
I can tell you the movie that I've seen the most out of anything is Evil Dead 2, because I watch it probably 2 or 3 times every October. It's popping on.
Dedication.
It's my favorite fucking movie of all time.
I've never seen any of the Back to the Future movies.
Get out of here.
Come on.
You're lying.
Well,
Real.
I know what we're doing next week.
Are you serious? I feel like you're lying to me.
Why would I lie about that?
Because
Of all things.
Because
you're
it's funny.
It's a weirdy hipster thing. Are you?
I lie about things all the time because they're funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I do lie for fun. I'm not gonna. But why would I lie about that particular thing?
Because you're gonna make us angry. That's why.
All I know of Back to the Future is like references in other.
I don't know.
pop culture
I don't know
things.
how you've not done that. Like you've been surrounded by people who do those things.
Good news, Faith. Back to the Future is on Netflix, so we're doing this
Free on
next week.
Netflix.
Yeah. Before our streams each week, Faith and I've been like hanging out and watching like Trailer Park Boys, stuff like that. So
That's fun.
So next week we're doing
'Cause
Back
I've
to the
never
Future.
seen Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
Ty's trying to culture me.
Aliens was nominated for 7 Academy Awards.
It's a great
Good.
movie.
Great movie.
I could like what would even be the comparable comparison nowadays?
Dopest movie. Sickest lines. Explosions. It's just called Explosions. That's just the category.
It's just crazy. I mean, great, but like I can't believe that it got so much like critical recognition.
As a reminder, Oscars
That
are
is
bullshit
surprising to
because
me.
Suicide Squad has an Oscar. So who fucking cares?
Yeah, make a great
For what?
point.
Makeup?
Yeah. For that awful Killer Croc they did.
Really?
Better than the Killer Croc you did.
You don't know
Prove me
that,
wrong.
Greg.
Challenge!
Trust me, I've seen his Killer Croc.
Like,
Not good.
I will dip my sack in green paint and then just make my thighs clap together. That's a better Killer Croc than what they did.
Let's put it on the Patreon.
Yeah, make it happen, Captain. The only thing stopping you is you.
That and decency laws. But whatever. But back to the-
Decency shmishinshi.
I'm with Greg on this one. Decent reasons. I am Spartacus.
Either way, Back to the Future. It's such a charming, fun movie. It's got like everything from the proto future like DeLorean, which is the coolest car in the world, to like the great riffs on like 80s culture to 50s culture. It's just it's so charming and fun. Man, love that movie.
And again,
Yeah,
it's spawned 2 sequels.
Mm-hmm.
It's a like perfect movie. I mean,
It is-
legitimately, there's nothing wrong with that movie. It's like a tight 150.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it. I'm gonna check it out. I think it might actually be that. Back to the Future. I can't believe I've never seen this movie, Faith. I'm very upset.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Hour 56.
It's
Hour
not out of
56.
spite.
Yep.
Yeah. It's perfect. It's perfect, and it will be your favorite movie.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
What is your favorite movie?
Probably this is Spinal Tap.
Oh, that's a good movie.
That's a good
Yeah.
I actually watched A Mighty Wind recently for the first time.
one. That's a good one.
Christopher Guest
Yeah.
makes some good ass
Yeah.
movies.
God damn, does he ever?
I'm a big Best in Show fan.
I like Best in
Yeah.
Show a lot too. They're all good. They're all.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, they're all good. I'm in the middle of waiting for Guffman right now.
Oh, nice.
So
Just watching what we stream, huh? That's a little rude.
He likes to multitask.
I'm doing 6 things right now. You can tell because I don't know
We
what
can't
you
even
just said.
things we can't even see.
Your hands are underneath the table. I got it.
Yeah. I mean, this is the amount of work I've gotten done during this
Right.
this podcast. So
He's a busy man. I appreciate that. I can't even listen to music in the car anymore because it distracts me too much from driving. So I need laser-like focus at this point in my life.
I am not joking though. I think it will legitimately be your favorite movie.
It's just so good. If not that,
There's-
two I think has a lot of ups, but I think 1 is just so perfect.
Is 2 the one in the Old West?
That's 3.
Okay.
Which again, they filmed 2 and 3 like back to back, which is really cool. So
Yeah, there's no good reason why I haven't seen it. I just haven't.
it's just Josh and Soup all over again.
Yeah, no joke. I'm not opposed to it though. He has an aversion to soup.
We'll figure this out. We'll find time to do this. Greg, you're number 3.
My number 3 is Jurassic Park.
That was my number 1.
Yeah, I'm sorry
Yeah.
to steal it.
No,
I
it's
can make
fine.
it my number
You're
1 if we
okay.
want to talk about it then.
You do you, Greg.
You know, talking about once again all of my elements. It's called Jurassic Park was that summer. I mean, you know, and like there was nothing that people were doing that wasn't Jurassic Park related. It was all anybody was talking about. Made $1 billion. It was in movie theaters for a lifetime. Like, you know, I even remember articles coming out beforehand of talking about like the CGI in it and the animatronics that they were using and all this stuff. And it was Spielberg and it was big and I mean, not to mention it's a tremendous fucking movie.
Yep.
But it just, when you talk about big, kind of dumb summer movies, like, my number 2 is more personal, and I think my number 1 actually meets this a little bit better. But boy, Jurassic Park was just like the summer movie for an entire summer, and even into the winter. I remember people talking about it.
Oh,
like that movie was around forever.
Had I given myself a little bit of different criteria, Jurassic Park would be my number 1, hands down. But a little bit of an offshoot.
Yeah.
But oh man, Jurassic Park, yeah, that's a big pile of shit.
It ticked so many of the boxes, and it changed the game in so many ways with the special effects, with the budget, with the gross. And yeah, it was so pervasive. There was Jurassic Park shit fucking everywhere.
Everywhere. Right.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park is so pervasive and so incredible that it made Jurassic World one of the biggest summer blockbusters ever. And Jurassic World's not even that good.
Exactly. It set such a precedent.
I just want to see Jurassic Park again, yay!
Right. Exactly. That's exactly it, too.
Except Star-Lord's there. Star-Lord.
Jurassic World fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Oh, Jurassic World is... I think it's my definition of a current, like, dumb blockbuster movie. That second one, though, oh, man.
Well, it really was just riding the coattails. Just it's got the name, so let's just all fucking go see it.
Well, I would say Jurassic Park. I want to subvert expectations. It's a spooky
What if Jurassic Park was shitty?
Haunted house movie now. Yeah. We got this dinosaur that'll kill anybody you want it to if you point a gun at it. Why don't you just point a gun at the guy you want to kill, though? Because there's no dinosaurs involved, duh!
I mean, it's a good point.
But man, Jurassic Park is still, God, so good.
Yeah. Absolutely. Again, Spielberg, another one that holds up.
Like, that's one of the movies that if I could watch again for the first time, I wish I could watch that again for the first time.
Definitely. Yeah, that was really an experience of a movie, for sure.
Faith, number 3.
My number 3, speaking of Star-Lord, I went with Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't want to list full movies, even though so many of them, I mean, they are blockbusters. They can't even help it. But I really enjoy the fact that with Guardians of the Galaxy, before that came out, most people had no idea who those characters were. There was no real logical reason for that movie to work as well as it did. But it was so fun. It was so vibrant, and it had a mass appeal. But the fact that it was just, these were such random characters, it could have gone sideways so quickly and so easily. But the way it was handled and the way it was done, it worked. It worked so well. And of all the Marvel movies, just as a standalone movie, I think I probably enjoy that one the most. Apart from maybe Thor Ragnarok. So
Guardians 1 is easily my favorite Marvel movie.
Oh, yeah.
It is the only one that I truly love.
Right.
Like, I really like Thor Ragnarok, but even the distance between the two of those is light years.
Right.
But I also have like a very low opinion of all the Marvel movies, so I'm not. I mean, I'm also not like the best at that. But I genuinely love Guardians of the Galaxy, and I think you're totally right that like it didn't make any sense that it was successful, other than the fact that they got the right people to make it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, like, as much as I love Thor Ragnarok, there's a lot of that movie that people don't pay attention to. It's like, we love Korg, and we love him fighting Hulk, and they're flying around, and they say anus like 18 fucking times. So there's a lot of, like, if you really sit down and watch it again, it's like, a lot of this holds up, some of it doesn't. It's almost the definition of, like, super high highs and kind of meh lows.
Right.
But, man, Guardians of the Galaxy is, like, probably my favorite, like you guys say, like one of my favorites. I mean, Chris Pratt's charismatic, Batista is hilarious, everything flows together so nicely. It's just a phenomenal movie.
Yeah.
And I say that as someone who was a Guardians fan before the movie came out.
I didn't know much. Like, I knew Rocket from Marvel's Capcom 3. That was that was literally it. So
it's like once those movies come out, like once the games come out, I start looking at everything. So I was like, who's this Rocket Raccoon and Rocket and Groot and Guardians of the Galaxy. So I get into it, like, and then the movies come out. It's like, oh well, fuck. I guess these are ruined for me.
I do wish Rocket was British.
Yeah.
That's kind of charming.
That's a great pick, Faith. It definitely like approached my list. My issue, like the reason I didn't put it on mine is because while Guardians was popular, it didn't have that like impact that I feel like a lot of these other ones did. Like it didn't have that Jurassic Park pervasive everything.
Right. No, that's fair.
But yeah, that's also why it's your number 3, not your number 1.
Yeah.
My number 3 goes to The Mask.
Whoa.
Oh.
Interesting one.
Very.
Man, when I was, then once again, this is nostalgia tie talking, but The Mask, like, fucking opened a lot of doors for me as far as movies and comics go. I was already a Jim Carrey fan, and I actually met him at like one of the backstage areas of the Los Angeles Kings arena.
Oh, that's fun.
So
yeah,
that was great.
Was he made out of rubber?
No, he was just having a beer, talking with his friends.
That wasn't him.
No, it was.
that
No,
seems
he's not
really
folding
weird.
folding himself in half and screaming.
He was
Not
taking the
Jim
night
Carrey.
off. Okay, he had just backed a fake rhinoceros out, climbed out of the butthole of it, ordered a beer, and was just chilling.
Yeah, okay. I'm back
That's
in.
been weird though.
But
That
The
must
Mask,
be weird to see.
The Mask is, man, I fucking love this movie when it came out, and I remember going to Ohio on a family trip because that's where my mom's from. And like there was a like cheapo theater just like right around the corner from where we were staying. So I went there and probably saw that like every fucking day, like every day it was there.
Aw.
Because I just loved this movie. But then going into it, like I learned about the actual like Dark Horse Mask comics. And I was like, holy shit,
Oh, okay.
fucking comic books can be fucking hardcore. It's like, it's not just
Yeah.
Spider-Man going thwip, 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 or Batman going, I can't kill anybody. We got the Mask over here looking like a weirdy beans and shoving mufflers like up dude's sphincters so they come out of his head. It's that scene where he like makes the balloons and turns it into a Tommy gun and just shoots them and they all kind of run away. He fucking guns down an entire gang in that scene.
Huh.
Bloody murder. And I was like, yes. Thank you. On this day, I have become a man. But yeah,
Yes,
Adorable.
indeed. I love that movie, though it's
Yeah.
been a very long time since I've seen it. I don't know if it holds up. I think it's the kind of movie that has a few like questionable jokes in it, but as a whole, like I remember really loving it.
I think it's fine. It's not. I don't think it's offensive to today's standards. I think it's got a lot of the SpongeBob thing where it's like kind of for kids, kind of for adults. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, when he's talking to and also Cameron Diaz, she was like the hottest piece in the world back then.
She looks real good in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's-
That was like her debut movie, wasn't it? It's like her debut role.
I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's talking French. He was like, "Je t'adore, je te window. I don't care." And that's a fun. That's still a fun joke, you know.
That was fun.
But man, the mask.
Good one, Ty.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, it didn't make like $1 million, but its return on investment was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It made $350 million off of 23.
Oof. Wow.
Pretty good.
Good one.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fucking my big fat Greek wedding money.
Oh shit! We got the big fat Greek wedding money.
I remember seeing The Mask. I don't remember much about it.
Jim
I
Carrey
remember it
pulls,
being a big deal, though.
Jim Carrey's got a green face and he pulls a face the entire time. He's like, ah, oh. But it's
It's
not
almost exactly my big fat Greek wedding money.
Wow.
That's funny.
My big fat Greek wedding cost $5 million. It made 368. The Mask
Wow.
cost $23 million. It made 351 million.
Wow.
So like, yeah, it costs slightly more, but like, that's still a pretty good return on investment.
Yeah, no joke.
Who
I was gonna-
produced that?
I was going to do a second joke, but I remember that My Big Fat Greek Wedding and Mamma Mia are not the same movie.
They are
Oh,
not.
no.
But then again, here I go again.
Mamma Mia.
Greg, number 4.
My number 2
Or number 2. What? Sorry.
is my favorite movie on this list. It is Star Wars.
Yeah, that was on my list until I took
Like,
it off.
I don't-
Which Star Wars?
A New Hope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It came out the year after Jaws, and I think it set the precedent for the idea of like a sci-fi summer blockbuster.
Sure.
Which again, I would point out, like most of these are,
Right.
like
Yeah.
I think to a degree, science fiction is a important element of the summer blockbuster.
I agree.
I don't know why, but like basically everything on our list has sci-fi elements to it.
Sure.
I'm gonna try to punch out a little bit of a logic into it. If you want romance, that's Valentine's Day. If you want heartfelt family stuff, that's like, you're moving towards Thanksgiving, Christmas, the holidays there. Like, this is where the time where like sci-fi, fantasy, and action thrive. We
Yeah.
want to get out of the heat. We want to see like escapism at its peak.
Sure.
Like,
That makes
get me
sense.
out of this hellhole that is the 95-degree weather with the 110% humidity.
Sure.
Show me Kong Skull Island. Let's go.
When
Show
do
me
the
the
Fast
vacuum
and
of
the
space.
Furious movies come out now?
Well, those were summer.
Are they summer movies?
Oh yeah, I remember they were always at the drive-ins.
Yeah. The newest one now comes out in April, but I think those are summer blockbusters. I just don't have any precedent with them, so I can't put them on the list. But like, even those are little sci-fi now.
They're just like I think there's more goofy action than anything.
But I think to me, the summer blockbuster, I think sci-fi is more like they're all sci-fi action movies. I think sci-fi is significantly prevalent through a lot of it. Or
Sure.
with The Mask, I mean that's not sci-fi, but like sci-fi fantasy if you want to lump them together.
Well, that's comic
Sure.
stuff, you know.
Right. So yeah, I think Star Wars set that precedent. Like
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Jaws opened the door. I think Star Wars established the tropes of sci-fi of like summer blockbuster. And also it's a perfect movie. So
So talk about the zeitgeist and having a cultural
Yes.
impact. I mean,
Yeah.
that
Right, nobody
created
expected
an
anything
entire,
from it.
Yeah.
What if they did more flips with the lightsabers though? Like no one even uses the Force lightning. Come on, Greg.
that's true. That's a good point.
Get your head out of your ass. Come on.
All right, no Force lightning. Worst Star Wars.
Luke doesn't even heal a space worm.
Good point. Good
How
point.
can you even call it a movie?
Yeah, he in fact he kind of murders a bunch of like space worms, right?
Yeah.
In that trash compactor.
Uh huh.
Shoots it.
Don't even see any tits. Come on.
It's a reverse ray.
Get out of here. No, Star Wars: New Hope is such a perfect movie.
Yeah.
Right.
I love
Yeah,
it.
that's pretty much the perfect pick.
I mean, like a lot of people don't like it because it starts out kind of slow and Luke's a whiny bitch in it. But to me, that's all like part of it.
Yeah,
you know?
that's-
Right.
Like that's like it's important that Luke is a whiny bitch.
Right, that's the hero's journey.
Yeah.
Right.
Right,
Like-
yeah. Her characters actually need to develop.
No, they just need to have their powers right away.
He should be a hero already.
His journey is going to get pancakes.
You want to go to Tashi Station to pick up some pancakes.
You will go to Tashi
Oh,
Station
man.
for me. I will go get the pancakes.
Great pick.
Yeah,
Perfect pick.
man, that's. I had a hard time keeping that off my list because I knew you were going to put it on your list.
I had to.
Yeah, of
Right.
course. Yeah, Star Wars was
Faith.
so good.
Your number 2 for Star Wars is so fucking good.
My number 2, this is a personal one for me. It's Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was my
Good
favorite
one.
movie. It was my favorite movie as a kid. I remember going to my parents tricked me. I thought I was going somewhere else, and they wound up taking me to the drive-in to watch this movie, and I was fucking blown away by it. It was so much fun.
My parents
I
did
know
the
that
same
sounds
thing,
ridiculous.
but it was the dentist.
It was the exact opposite. Oh,
Right.
we're gonna go to the drive-ins. No, don't worry. Don't put your pajamas on, Ty. This
No,
is a jeans.
no.
This is a jeans drive-in.
Dad, it's 1 p.m. What are you talking about?
Gotta get there early. Beat the traffic.
We want a good spot, don't we?
Which is also, to his credit, he always took us to the drive-ins at 1 p.m. so we could beat the traffic.
It totally holds up.
It was a weird long
Totally
con.
holds up. It's got the action, it's got the danger, and it lacks special effects, but they make up for it with the clever use of the animation. And it was so unprecedented, and it was so unique and interesting, and it was definitely a big deal at the time. I fucking love that movie, and I remember having the Who Framed Roger Rabbit lunchbox. It was my favorite one. Yeah, it was a big deal to me, and I know it was a big deal to a lot of people my age at the time.
It's still one of my favorite movies.
It's so
I
Me
good.
too.
I did bump it off the list for Back to the Future because I've seen Back to the Future more times, I think. But
Sure.
holy shit, man, that movie's great. We've gushed about about Who Framed Roger Rabbit before, and yeah, God, it's just so good. It's so tightly written, well animated. The weird collaboration between WB and Disney that's never going to happen again.
Right? That was a big deal.
Oh yeah, it's phenomenal. If you've never seen it, you gotta
Go
watch it.
fuck yourself.
Yeah, I don't want to know you.
Friendship over.
I can't forget Back to the Future, but if you've never seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, we're gonna have some problems.
We're gonna fight. We will literally fight you.
I will snap you out of my life. I don't care. You watch it 10
That's
times,
just-
you're already done with me.
That's a pervasive threat from me. Not even about Roger Rabbit. I'll just snap anyone out of my life in a heartbeat. So,
Same.
yeah.
No joke.
Does not take much.
Oh God, you're calling me instead of texting me? Delete.
You're right.
My boss yells at me pretty frequently because I'm like, nope, we're done with him. And he's like, that's not how businesses work. And I was like,
Love
fuck him, we'll
that.
find somewhere else. He's like, nope, nope, we will not tell them to fuck off. We will
I love
we
you,
will
Greg.
call them and tell them our problem, and then we will find a solution.
That's why you guys work so well together, because you're like super
Right.
fuck off, and he's kind of like more forgiving, so you guys meet in the middle.
Right.
That is exactly it.
You guys Benjamin
Like-
Button your relationship.
He'll he'll let people get away with anything, and I'm like, no, we have to put our foot down. And he'll be like, all right, yeah, maybe we do. And the opposite. I'm like, he's dead to me. No.
He's dead. His family's dead. His pets are dead. No, Greg. Let's reel it back a bit.
Let's leave the pets.
I'm gonna grab a DeLorean and go murder his grandfather, so he's never born. Greg also turns like stereotypical gangster when he gets this way. It's
Right.
It's
weird.
true.
Yeah.
It's true.
I mean, that's just business.
Smart business, kids.
Right?
Great pick, though, Roger.
Yeah.
You know it was based on a book? I just found that out.
Yeah, we were talking about that a few weeks ago. But yeah, there's like a series of books.
Yeah.
Crazy.
They're mad
I
expensive.
can't even
to get
imagine
to.
how that looks as a book.
A lot
Yeah,
of words,
seriously.
I assume.
Ooh, you.
My number 2, I'm going to lose you guys a lot here.
Uh-oh.
You guys are not going to be
boy.
happy with this pick. But as a reminder, I'm going by probably most seen movies. This is one of the movies I've seen most in the theater. I was
Please be
probably,
Godzilla 97.
probably 13 at the time. And I was within biking distance of our theater, so I went there like it was like $5 a movie or something like that. My number 2 goes to Batman Forever,
Oh, interesting pick.
Okay.
a movie that I
I
still
can't
think,
argue too much with it.
I still think is underrated.
I can't.
Val Kilmer, good Batman. People say like the people who created Batman were like, yeah, he's pretty much the most we wanted to see of a Batman.
Right.
Tommy Lee Jones hamming it up as Two-Face. You got Jim Carrey once again. I was a big Carrey teen.
Yeah. Everyone was.
Bebopping and scatting around. Was that Nicole Kidman on that? No, that was the lady
That was
in that
Nicole
one.
Kidman
That was Nicole Kidman?
in that one.
It was Michelle
Yeah.
Pfeiffer. That's the one I was thinking about in Batman
Yeah.
Forever. Yeah. Nicole Kidman.
And Kim Basinger was in the first one.
Yeah. Vicky Vale. But man, Batman Forever, it's goofy. You got just a lot of goofiness to it. But I think it works. I think it's I think it's especially like Greg thinks, a big dumb summer movie. I think it's
Right.
certainly done. It's not Batman and Robin dumb. Which is just like too dumb. That's we're bordering on camp there. Like Adam
Right.
West Batman style. But Batman Forever, I think, is one of the last big outings of Batman before Nolan got his hands on it.
Sure. It definitely ticks a lot of boxes. I mean, it's not a movie I would go out of my way to see at this point because there's so many better iterations of Batman. But
Young Ty on a bike saw this movie, I think, 8 times in theaters.
yeah, I totally get it, especially at that age.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was definitely way into it at the time.
Right. And
So-
it checks all my boxes too. Like that movie
Yeah.
was fucking everything.
Right.
Like, that had 2 fucking like Kiss from a Rose was from that one, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Huh?
And the fucking U2 song was from that one, I think. The Kiss Me, Kill Me, Push Me, Pull
Hold
Me,
Me,
or
Oh,
whatever.
Kill
it
Me.
was.
Hold me, kill me, kiss me, hold me, thrill me, kiss me, kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that had like 2 fucking bangers off the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Action
Right
figures
on.
were everywhere.
Yep.
McDonald's toys, like it
Don't forget
it applies. Like the
the-
movie might not be any good, but I definitely think it hits.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
the Burger King coffee cups. I still have those somewhere.
Nice.
You can throw
And-
those away, Ty. You don't
No.
need those anymore.
And also, the movie's better than you think it is. I'm going to say it right now.
It's actually the only Batman movie I've never seen. So,
I watched
maybe.
I watched it pretty recently. I still didn't really care for it, but it's not the worst.
Dead to me. DEAD. Dead.
I love you so much. It's definitely not the worst, and I would have no
Oh,
problem
that's quick
watching it again.
backpedal, huh? Quick backpedal. Well, guess what?
No,
For your
I said it's
flip
not the
flopping.
worst. I originally said it's not the worst. You were busy whispering that I was dead to you.
Undead.
Unchun. No, I think
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh,
think
man.
that really fits the summer blockbuster mold. Pretty spectacular.
I have like very vivid memories of like talking about this with my fucking little league team playing baseball.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
for
like-
sure.
Oh man, Batman. Remember when he does a thing?
Yeah. Oh, I totally get it.
The highlight was when he saves both the girl and Robin. So, I remember Robin's like, "Holy rusted metal, Batman! It's rusted metal and it's full of holes because it's a callback to the TV show.
Right.
Oh.
Which was sweet. It's definitely got its moments. And definitely a blockbuster.
Yeah. Greg, number 1.
My number 1. Definitely not the best movie on my list, and not even my favorite movie on my list. But as far as movies that like check all the boxes and have a lasting appeal, Independence Day.
Nice one.
That was on my list, but
to me, this is like any modern summer blockbuster somehow relates back to this movie.
Right.
Like the world destruction, super long, kind of stupid, mega big budget, culturally pervasive.
Yep.
Will Smith.
Will Smith, yeah, Will
Yeah, right?
Smith is like, I mean, there
No
was a
joke.
while where he was summer blockbusters. I would say now The Rock is.
Yep.
Yeah.
But like Will Smith was the guy for a while.
Yeah.
iRobot
sure.
2, maybe?
What?
iRobot 2, maybe?
I would love that. I think iRobot's a great ass movie.
Oh, yeah.
Good story.
Roland Emmerich is like his movies don't typically come out in summer anymore, which is why I feel like he doesn't have that like clout that he used to, but like he is like the Roland Emmerich movie is like a staple to me. Just
Okay.
that they're like world-ending movies have like such a similar feel to all of them, and I love them all so much.
Right.
Like I like the weird dread that this like world-ending apocalypse thing is going to happen in all these movies.
Right.
Stop it.
But yeah, Independence Day, it was just like that was the summer. Like that
Right.
was all anybody talked about. It was all anybody thought about. It was like all anybody wanted to go see. Like, and I mean it's like July 4th, you know? Like that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's the time frame. It quite literally hits on that like criteria for me. So yeah, I just think. I mean that movie's good too. It's not as good as I don't think it's as great as people remember it as, but it's
Sure.
a good ass movie.
Sure.
I think it's campy and fun. Like it's not serious
Right.
by any means, but like man, like it has the like catchphrases and the star power, like "Welcome to Earth," wham. You know, it's
Right.
it's
Well,
just
like you said, it's informed so many
Mhm.
blockbusters that have
Right.
succeeded it.
You know, I think about like San Andreas, which was also like a summer blockbuster, even though no one saw it. But like to me, that's just like that beat for beat follows the Independence Day mold.
Right. No, I mean, when you think of blockbusters,
Right.
that ticks all the boxes.
that shot of the White House getting blown up. That's iconic. You know,
Yeah.
Right,
I wish
yeah.
that still
No.
happened.
For sure.
Let's make it historically iconic.
make Independence Day real again.
It's too funny.
Faith, number 1.
Well, my number 1 was Jurassic Park, so I'll
Oh,
just
yeah.
go with one of my honorable mentions, Die Hard.
Yeah. What a good one.
Yeah. I mean, that I associate the reason it went to my honorable mentions was because I associate it more with Christmas, but it was actually released July 15th.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Great time-
No, I
great time
know
for a Christmas
exactly.
movie.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, fucking just straight up action movie, and it holds up. Everyone's seen it.
It's so good.
All the tropes are there.
Catchphrases galore.
hmm
Oh,
You got your explosions. You got your fight scenes. You got your adrenaline pumping.
man. That's such
You got
a
your
good one.
dumb. You got your dumb scheme from a easy to hate bad guy.
I think you
um,
mean a genius scheme from an easy to love guy. I don't have anything else to finish that off
Just
with.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So And it fucking launched Bruce Willis into the stratosphere.
Sure did.
So,
Don't forget Carl Winslow was there, you know.
for better or worse. That's true, he was. Bless him.
Man, I love Die Hard to death. And had I thought about it more, this would be on my list. But I do, like you, associate with the Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It came out in
Right.
June. Like, I never in a billion... I assumed it would have just been a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
July 15th,
How weird is that?
1988.
It is weird.
Like, oh, we're going to go see this new summer blockbuster, Home Alone.
Right, exactly. Which is why it went to honorable mentions, but you already mentioned Jurassic Park, so.
Sorry, I didn't mean to blow up your spot.
No, it's totally
That's
fine.
good. I'll talk about Die Hard. Oh, man.
Great minds think alike, that's all.
Oh, then I'm the dumb mind, because I got none of these on my list.
What's your number one, Ty?
My number one goes to the 2002 Tobey Maguire masterpiece that is Spider-Man.
Nice.
Fuck me,
I think that's a good pick.
Yeah, I think it's a great pick.
This movie borderline changed my life.
Yeah.
Like actually seeing a Spider-Man on film, directed by one of my favorite directors. I was already a big Sam Raimi head at this point. You know, Evil Dead was by far my favorite movie. And then seeing him tackle this, with just the pure camp that I wanted from a movie. I think Spider-Man 2 is infinitely the better movie. But I definitely saw Spider-Man, I believe my last count was 16 or 17 times between theaters and drive-in that summer.
Oh my.
Oh yeah. I was fully employed during the summer. I had a lot of free time. So it basically I was working at the Great Escape, or the Great Bake, whatever we want to say, but without doxing myself, I worked at the local theme park.
Sure.
So it'd be well, shift's over. Spider-Man's playing the drive-ins. I'll see you guys later. Sometimes, we would have groups and stuff going, but I would see this fucking movie all summer.
Right.
Oh, man. And I loved it. I loved the way it's shot. I love Peter, trying to figure out his powers. I mean, yeah, it's goofy now, but I still think it's the better of the first Spider-Man movies.
Sure.
Not that I don't love Tom Holland, and I didn't enjoy Andrew Garfield, but man, that second Amazing Spider-Man movie is awful. And Tom Holland, he's just a side character in his own series.
Right. It's unfortunate.
Isn't that the truth? I thought Far From Home was better than Homecoming, for sure. But you are correct. Tom Holland is a weird second player.
Yeah.
Well, he went from...
To a dead guy.
Yeah, he went from, oh my god,
yeah,
please Stark Daddy, I need my suit back, to, oh my god, Stark Daddy's dead, and now I have his suit.
Right. Yeah, you're right. It's weird.
But yes, Spider-Man,
yeah,
great film.
Spider-Man's a great movie, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And there wasn't really a whole lot going on as far as superhero movies at the time.
No.
There was a real lull, and then that came along and kind of blew everyone's minds.
Before that, it was a lot of DC stuff, and I think maybe an X-Men had come out, or maybe two.
X-Men, yeah, X-Men's on my honorable mention list. It came out in 2000.
Yeah.
Right.
That really set all this in motion. That superhero movies could be a thing again.
Sure.
We had X-Men. We had Blade in 1998.
Oh, that doesn't count.
No, I don't count that either.
The movie's great. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah, no,
but
I'm just saying.
I don't think anybody saw Blade and was like, yeah, I think we can make superhero movies a thing. I think they saw Blade and they were like, this is a good vampire movie.
How dope was Wesley Snipes, right?
I agree. I love
Very.
I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Very dope.
Hits him with a syringe and he explodes and the blood. It's great.
I love even more hearing the stories about how so many of the scenes are just the stunt double because Wesley couldn't be bothered to come out of his trailer.
That's pretty funny.
It's also one of the best lines in any movie. Some motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill. That's.
I mean, truer words have never been spoken.
Honorable mentions, anybody?
Yeah. So I mentioned X-Men a minute ago.
Yep.
That was so weird to me. I distinctly remember that moment and like who I went with and stuff, and it was just like, is this gonna happen? Like,
Right.
this thing we love is going to be in movie theaters? That can't make any sense. And then Men in Black, another Will Smith movie that I truly love.
Absolutely.
Also part of the cultural zeitgeist. Like I remember everyone was talking about that, and I mean that song. Like I feel like the song is a good metric. Like
yeah, well that I think that used to be a bigger deal because it was all
for sure.
All the marketing was so tied in and so so carefully planned. I don't know that the music industry has that kind of holds that kind of sway anymore, where they can just kind of create a hit.
Yeah, the like Suicide Squad soundtrack. That was the last time I remember that really happening. Like that was a big deal.
I don't even remember that.
It was just like it was like a bunch of mashups. Like they got Lil Wayne to like team up with people that like Lil Wayne normally wouldn't have.
Okay.
But it used to happen all the time for sure. You know, like I mean, U2 was huge to get them to do a song for Batman.
Fucking Godzilla with Brain Stew with Green Day, where Godzilla's on the track just roaring. For like,
it's literally Brain Stew with Godzilla. That soundtrack though is fucking fire.
Oh, it's great.
That Godzilla soundtrack is insane. It's so crazy good.
No joke.
It's got like all these like deep cuts. It has like Foo Fighters deep cuts and shit. Like Ben Folds deep cuts. It's like what the fuck? That Godzilla soundtrack's awesome.
Nice.
I would say probably the second best soundtrack of all time after The Matrix.
Ooh.
And then this is easily my favorite movie on this list that maybe isn't Star Wars, but Mad Max Fury Road came out in the summer. And people consider it a summer blockbuster, but like realistically, it did not make that much money. Like it made $350 million, which is a lot of money, but not for its budget and not by like today's standards. You know, that movie came out 4 years ago.
It was released in May, and that's why it didn't make my list.
Maybe, yeah, and maybe that's not. You're right. I feel like it had to at least come out in June to make my list. So yeah, it doesn't really fit most of my criteria, but also that I'm going to talk about that movie literally anytime I can.
That's one of my favorite movies. I fucking love it.
Me too.
I will watch
I would say it's probably a top 5. I love it.
No joke.
We did a whole bit about it last night.
I just like how simple it is. I think how it's an L. They go in an L. They go there and they come back, and explosions happen in between.
Yep.
Perfect.
And Tom Hardy doesn't talk much, which is my favorite thing for Tom Hardy to do.
Who could possibly tell? All he does is mumble.
Why do they keep putting him in movies?
Because he looks vaguely handsome.
I love Tom Hardy.
I don't get it. He has like no charisma, and I can never understand what he's saying.
I disagree.
And he has like a face made of rocks.
He's the male version of Wonder Woman.
Of Gal Gadot.
Yeah,
is he even that handsome? I respect a handsome man. He doesn't ring my bell.
Faith, ring him.
I just can't agree that he's the male Gal Gadot. I think he's intense.
He's got mush mouth. So is she. Fiery eyes.
Yeah.
Got to protect Steve Trevor.
I don't feel that intensity from Gal Gadot.
Well, then your loins are broken.
Maybe. I like more meat on my Wonder Woman.
Faith, any honorable mentions?
My other honorable mention, because it was also released in May, went to The Fifth Element.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's such a great movie. Yeah.
Right. I mean, fucking blew my mind, and I watch it every time it's on now. I can't even help myself.
It's great.
Yeah, it is great.
It's got all
the great special effects, the one-liners, the action sequences, and the sci-fi elements. And it was packaged in such a unique way. And fucking Gary Oldman, who I cannot get enough of.
He's great in that movie too.
Oh,
he really
God,
is. Gary Oldman
Fucking
freaks
A.
me out because I'll see him in 6 different movies and I'd never realize it's him.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, Commissioner Gordon, that's the Fifth Element guy?
He could be Brody right now.
Wow.
You wouldn't even know.
I'm your cat. So that was like a Keanu. He was-
Like
Wow.
Keanu, but like on acid.
yeah. I'm Keanu Kitty. That's more Nick Cage now. Oh god, I'm losing it. Losing my accent. My
Yeah.
own.
Uh,
Yeah. The
Go ahead.
Fifth Element's such a good one. I just wanted to, like, Empire Strikes Back, I did not realize was as huge as it really was.
Okay.
It was released, and then re-released in the winter,
Oh.
and then released again the following summer, in anticipation for Return of the Jedi, like the year after. They re-released it like 3 fucking times.
That's
Wow,
crazy.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's bananas. And that's a good sign of a franchise going.
You got a stew going, baby.
And I loved when they re-released all the Star Wars movies in theaters and like before Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
God, that was such
That
an
was
amazing
awesome.
time.
Me too.
I remember going
Me
to see
too.
those.
That was so impactful to me, and it really upsets me. And okay, how do I want to focus this? It upsets me that we don't get that opportunity more to re-see movies in the way they were designed to be seen. You know, like The Dark Knight, 30% of that was shot on IMAX cameras, and yeah, I have a beautiful television. You know, like it is large, it's 8K, it's like I'm getting a tremendous fidelity,
Sure.
but I will never experience that movie the way it was made to be experienced, and I think that's fucked up. Like, you can go to France and see the Mona Lisa,
Right.
and it is, you know, like I can watch I can see a picture of the Mona Lisa and appreciate it, but I can't, and I can go and see the Mona Lisa, but they are not the same thing. Watching some of these movies on my television will never be the same, and it bothers me. I wish they were re-releasing movies fucking constantly.
Oh yeah. I'm actually
That's a great
surprised
point.
there's not like theaters outside of like all the big theme parks. You know, like go to Universal, there should be a theater like on the Universal Walk, which
Yes.
we're constantly showing like the big
Yes.
Universal movies just on like maybe not the same time every day, but you know, just even take one theater, be like this week is like Fast and the Furious week or whatever. You know,
Sure.
Go in front
That's a
of
great
Disney. It's
idea.
like we're doing all the avatars. We're doing Avatar this week. Next week we're gonna like Who Framed Roger Rabbit or something. You know, show me the Back to the Future movies at Universal. Just show me some cool stuff.
Right. Seems like a no-brainer.
Well, people are stupid.
Facts.
Do you guys have anything? I've been trying to announce our next week's top 5 before we get to the top. Before we finish, you guys have anything you wanted to talk about next week?
Top 5 people I wouldn't mind if they were dead. We've already been over this time.
I don't feel super
It's like
comfortable
Greg's
with
already
that one.
sold.
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing that list, and you're all gonna hear it.
Nice.
Yeah,
I've already expanded to the top 10.
Welcome to Greg's Top
wait.
5 Death Corner. Greg's
Call me
COD
Deathy Greg.
Corner O Death. Yeah, check out our Twitter at UltraCoolIdiots for our next week's top 5. Anything else before we close things out tonight, guys? Gotta start figuring out dinner, so not trying to rush you, but
This always goes so much longer than I think it is.
all right.
Yeah, no, I got nothing. I'm sorry.
Cool. For the Idiots with Mics and Dream Team Stream Team. Oh man, I've already fucked my closing. I've been your host, Man of 1004 Names, Tyrell Armbar. Follow me on Twitter at 1004 Names. Follow us for updates at UltraCoolIdiots on Twitter. Patreon.com/WCWTF Podcast for tossing us a buck or two to keep this boat afloat. And don't forget to join us this Thursday for retro games and Time Faith Friday for some Jackbox and other games.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Am I signing out too?
Yes.
You can find me on Twitter at Carly Pilkers.
And I'm Killer Greg. You can find me at KillerGreg17 on Twitter and all other social media platforms. I'm just kidding. I have Instagram. There's one solitary picture of my dog because The girl I was dating when I signed up for Instagram said it was creepy that I didn't have a picture. We're not together anymore.
Right. Good. Yeah.
I was like, fine, here's a picture of my dog. Are you happy now? And she's like, I don't think we should talk anymore. I'm just kidding. I broke up with her.
Good for you. You deserve
I
better.
didn't break up with her. I ghosted her. I think she technically thinks we're still dating.
Love you, Craig.
Bulletproof Pretty Boy, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
If you want to find out, if you want to suggest any top fives, hit us up on Twitter anytime. You know, we're always down to talk about different stuff.
Sure.
Good show, guys. Thanks for hanging out. And until later this week, we will catch you on the flip-flop, Time Pants.